The date is the 1st of Nim, the year of our kingdom 998. Weather, the things are heating up, and I don't just mean the temperature is rising. And the situation, I am currently waiting at the Warning Guild for Andri and Brina Dimadani. Today was rather uneventful, at least for me, so let me detail it quickly while I wait for familiar faces to return. Though the day started as normal, Anne and I knew it would be one we both found less than pleasant. Gossip hung in the air like a quickly approaching storm, brought about by several papers reporting the death of Tarek Elhelm, conspiracy to cover up his murder, controversy at the defaced Gallery of Shadows, and the potential scandal of a love affair ending in cold blood. All bull squirt as far as I could tell. While, yes, there are fragments of truth, as with any gossip, it all amounts to trouble for our investigation and for planning an ambush. If everyone is staring at the parties involved, then how can they move unencumbered and without scrutiny? Even Audrey and the detective were less than thrilled with the headlines, and all three of us dragged a heel as we made our way to the hall of the Port Authority, knowing what waited. Journalists skulking about in search of a scoop from none other than Captain Meraldine Frostroot, one of those at the center of the gossip. She seemed a little worse for wear. I can't imagine having the press hounding you does wonders for someone whose mood has already been grated paper thin by the stress of everything that she's been through. I feel only sympathy for her, enough so that when Brina suggested I offer myself as protection for the day, I did so willingly, and perhaps luckily. I know well enough the restlessness of someone who's suited to activity being confined to a single room, and too well do I also know the best way to divert some of that energy. The captain and I sparred, a fact I am unlikely to share with the printing press, other than this journal, and maybe Willow if it comes up. I feel like they'd appreciate the novelty, Luca sparring with the captain from the Sea Dragons. It's happened twice now, I suppose. It worked as best it could, enough so that the captain felt time was right for her to return to her ship and take tea. I would have escorted her without incident were it not for one Wilfred Bartosz, who cornered the captain at the taxi stand before we could take our leave. He is a thoroughly unlikable man, prodding at the captain and her open wounds as though fascinated by what he might find beneath the blood. But he was not to discover anything, as the captain, perhaps in a moment of venting her own frustrations, was well prepared to deal with a damning blow to that man himself.
1 in 7 children does not have enough.
One that left him speechless as we departed. I know the look of someone who can think of nothing to say all too well, and it was pleasant to see it on such an unlikable face. My only hope is that this was not the act that will send us plummeting into dire straits, given that there is more than simple justice on the line.
Just a few days ago, Tarek Elham's death was unknown even to the front desk attendant at the Gallery of Shadows, where his magnum opus had debuted only a few months ago. Today, the first day of summer revealed that same building covered in paint, swarmed by citizens and reporters alike. The paint was being scrubbed away, but the stain of red showed what was written. An accusation. You profit off the corpse of Siri. Tarek Elham died and nobody mourns. Tarek Elham died in silence. The same angry red letters adorned a number of posters of Tarek's play throughout the city. Blood is on your hands, your star is dead. Why do you hide the truth? Truth, yes. I suppose you could say that this gaudy display held a mirror to the world's true nature. And the purpose of an artist and art is to perceive the truth of things. Let's not be coy. I have all my reasons and more to suspect that Wilfred Bartosz did it. The style of the demonstration, the incendiary wording, the anger. Yes, it seems that Wilfred may have delayed our appointment so that he could prowl around the city and sling allegations to and from every platform available to him. 3 publications. The Regal Port Herald, Panoply, and the Scuttlebutt, all releasing news like clockwork regarding the death of Tarek Elham. 4, if you include the vandalism itself. Self-published, as it were. Though at present I only have proof that he is behind one of those things. Of the 3 papers, I elected to visit the Scuttlebutt. The facility is run by a fellow that inspires much the same feeling as seeing a rodent in the cargo, gnawing on rubbish and food and rigging alike. Thaddeus Lloyd, though I had the honor of calling him Todd. He captains, that horrid little excuse for a publication, though it is that exact reputation that encouraged me to go there to begin with. Now, a number of lies found their way through the doors of the scuttlebutt recently, angling against Miraldine, against the Rani, conspiracies, and so on. But what's important to me is the person that deemed it appropriate to plant those seeds at all. So, I told Todd about my own experiences. That evening at the auction, I told him that Miraldine and Tarek argued. I told him that there was to be a duel of honor. I told him that Tarek was being poisoned by someone close to him. And Todd snapped that up so greedily that he exchanged the identity of his source without question. A dwarvish fellow, dressed fancy, face obscured with rings on his fingers. Hook, line, sinker for the easiest fish to bait in all of Greentown. I have a recording of this description on my earring to count towards my humble stack of evidence. And it all points to one man. Though what does one man even mean in terms of a cult? Where does Warford stop and Alonso begin, for example? Where do their motives intersect, and how much proof is enough to sabotage them all at once? I am on my way back to the Gold Dragon Inn to organize the pieces in my mind. When news of Tarek Elham's poisoning hits the stands tomorrow, well, it might be the first true thing that Regalport hears about the death of Tarek Elham. Though certainly not the last.
So, the cat's out of the bag. The gossip on everyone's lips is Meraldine's carefully guarded secret. Tarek's death. What is it I keep saying about spilled secrets? I think they have an old adage about it in these parts. Loose lips sink ships. While these ill-begotten headlines do restrict our dear captain's movements, they also open a couple doors for a certain detective's assistant, one meddlesome Miss Whistler. That is to say, my investigation continues, rain or shine. After leaving Brina on bird-watching duty, and by that I mean conducting surveillance through the eyes of Peter, I took the liberty of poking my head into two of the offending publications, the Regalport Herald and the Panoply. The former was cooperative and above board, which of course left me walking away empty-handed. The latter, they met me at the door with the anticipated journalistic integrity stonewall. Fortunately for me, I didn't need to go through the arduous task of breaking down defenses. I just needed to read a mind or two. Pardon me for expediting the process of trust and lies, but we're on the clock, and I'm not the only one partaking in a few underhanded dealings. As it turns out, not only was the Panoply source hiding behind a pseudonym-signed letter, their article was tampered with on the way to the press. A few sentences out of place, and all of a sudden our upstanding journalist's words are much more accusatory than she intended. Someone is bending this narrative to suit their needs, no question about that. But despite their best efforts to make things difficult, Meraldine still managed to pass along orders regarding front-row seats to Warford's stakeout. As irritating as all this needless buzzing is, it hasn't broken our stride. We're still barreling towards some semblance of a resolution, not only with Warfred, but Alonso. Which brings me to Jaylee. Contacted by Alonso to inquire about the selling of her sculpture, my opportunity to finally approach Edmund's butler. Everything is in motion on that front, too. We're set to meet with him, for better or worse. I managed to convince Jaylee that he might have ulterior motives without scaring her, which is good. Last thing I want is Alonso smelling blood in the water, or me having to sit there and watch fear enter her eyes at all, really. I was perfectly happy to face Alonso solo if it meant she never had to partake in his company again. One thing I failed to take into account is how she might not be comfortable with me yanking the reins from her hands, sticking my neck out for her. Which is comical, considering I would hate it if someone did that to me. This is her life and her art. I'm still something of a stranger, and my intentions can be called into question. 6, even I'm calling them into question. But I know I don't want her to feel as if she owes me, or as if she can't say no to me, or anything like that. It's true that everyone has an angle, but my angle is protecting her. Above anything else, that's what this meeting is about. And maybe the best way to achieve all that is through a united front. So in the end, we agreed to meet him together. As a team. Artist and agent, potter and clay. She's a strong girl, she's wise, and she's not so easily shaken. If I stop lying to myself for 2 seconds, I think I'm the one who's more frightened than she is. Of this meeting and everything it represents. I'm, of course, the one playing with a full deck here, but she doesn't need to know the history hidden among these bloody cards. In fact, my goal here is to make sure she never does. I can't keep her out of the line of fire. So instead, I'll make sure Alonso knows he has to reckon with me if he wants a shot at her. But, first things first, I spy with my cursed little eye the apartment of Warfred Bartosz. It's Audrey's shift on stakeout. Back to my roots, I suppose.
Well done.
Good work, everyone.
Done.
Handshakes around the room. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
What's it look like as Audrey settles into keeping a watch on the building where Warfred Bartosz lives?
Yeah, I think, I imagine Luca doesn't have the ability to shapeshift, so Luca's probably going to need to find a position to, like, situate himself, so I think Audrey's going to take the approach of, like, changing faces and moving around while keeping watch instead of bunkering down in one specific location, because she has that option with her fancy
Yeah.
face.
And you can also keep an eye out for a good place where Luca can potentially...
Yeah, I'll definitely be doing that as well. Like, I'll
Cool.
try and get on a rooftop while I'm at it, see if there's any easy rooftops to access or something like that.
Sure. We'll come back to you then.
Cool.
In the meantime, Brina arrives back at the Inquisitor's office to find Luca waiting patiently.
Yep. That I am.
Oh, hey there!
Ah. Detective. Point to Celia. Captain Froster had me deliver a letter to you. Celia has it?
Celia waves the letter. Looks like it's arrangements for the, temporary room. Brina says, oh, good. Well, I just left Audrey to start her shift.
Oh, already? Okay, that makes sense. Right. Okay.
You have been out all day. How was the captain?
As good as she can be given the circumstances. We happened to be intercepted on the way back to her ship by... Luca makes a face. Warfred Bartosz.
Brina's expression darkens. What happened?
He was offering his condolences to the captain, and it seemed like he was prodding her. He mentioned that there was nothing that would implicate her as the one involved with Tarek's murder, and she mentioned to him that she plans to resurrect him to hopefully find out the truth.
Well, that's not good news, but
Luca makes a face like, yeah, right?
I suppose I can commend the captain for restraint, not stabbing him in the street. That would complicate things
Mm-hmm.
more. Well... Troubling.
Indeed.
At least we're keeping a close eye on him in the meantime. I suppose, if he's not at home, it's kind of harder to tell what he gets up to.
And even if Audrey was able to follow him, or you, I'm not exactly suited to trailing someone.
No, I think our best bet is still keeping an eye on his home. But we should be cautious about what his future movements are. Well, you're not to relieve Audrey for another 4 hours, so you might want to go take a rest while you can. You'll be heading on over at Brina checks her watch. About 10 p.m. till 2 a.m. And I'll
The night
replace you
shift.
again. Yep. So I'm gonna go take a nap myself.
All right. Rest well, and I'll see you in 16 hours.
About 8 hours.
Oh, 4-hour shifts? Okay.
Yeah.
Right. Silly me.
No, it's no worries. Thanks for reporting in.
Salutes very jokingly.
Brina gives you a sort of sloppy salute back.
Girl, I love you.
We love Brina.
Yeah, love you. And then her and Brina start closing up the office for the night.
Nice. Okay. In which case, I will return to the inn.
Yes.
Meet my beloved Willow Jenkins.
Mm-hmm.
Not sure,
Oh.
depending on the timing of things.
Well, it's
Yeah.
about 6:30 p.m. ish by the time you get back.
I think Willow would have gotten back earlier.
Mm-hmm.
So if I may, I think
We can flash to earlier in the day for Willow.
yeah, because I kind of just went straight to. I did a quick lap around the city.
You sure did.
Yeah, and then I think Willow returned home probably earlier to collect themselves. So may I?
Yes.
Okay. I know Willow's probably gotten back to the hotel rather, and after doing like a little pace around the room, they're going to start like emptying their pockets of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
They'll unclip that earring and they'll check that it's recorded what Thaddeus said, put that on the table. They have a growing stack of papers over there that is separate to the thing that they gave to N. I'm trying to remember everything they have. They take out probably the papers, put them down as well, looking through them all. They're just like creating this like physical circle of stuff that they have found, and the last thing they lay out, I think, is the poster, which they'll like drape over their bed,
Mm-hmm.
and just sort of stand in the center of it and look at it all, and try and calibrate a bit. The book is also there. There's no checks I can do at the moment, huh? I don't even know what I'm looking for yet. I'm waiting for Laurie to come back with details about the paint, though I don't quite know what I'm going to get out of it, other than like if we find the same paint pot at Warfred's, then that could be evidence, for example.
Yeah.
Sort of setting the stage for potential more evidence as we build like a stack of like a stack of stuff against him. Anyway, so Willow's kind of standing there like just sorry, lost in their own thoughts a little. And I think they're going to like, every time Willow gets kind of overwhelmed by their thoughts, they start like shadowboxing a little, which is with their sword. But rather than using their usual sword, I think they're going to dig deeper into their pockets and get out that sword that they got from the tomb way back when.
Yep. It's been a few months since then. You draw the sword out. Old, but still durable. There's a purple sheen to the metal as it reflects the light when you examine it. Biashgor, if you remember.
Remind me again, in light of all this, what it's good at?
Yeah, Biashgor is... It was popularly used by the late Dakani Empire after the Dalkir invasion to fight off aberrations. It seems to cut well into their alien flesh.
How fortuitous. I think Willow gives that kind of face of like, what is this, fate? Before kind of rolling their eyes and starting their usual routine of trying to get familiar with the sword. Like the weight of it.
Mm-hmm. It's shorter than a rapier, but light, well-balanced.
Mm.
You do have to adjust your movements somewhat to get the same reach that you would with a rapier.
I think Willow always practices towards the door in such a way, like if they move too far, they will hit the door.
Mm-hmm.
But they're in this case, they're probably more likely coming up short.
Mm-hmm.
So they're just doing like little laps around the room, occasionally looking back at all their piles of stuff and then continuing their usual drills of sword maneuvers. Probably until the point that they face the door again and the topic of aberrations. Who is Warfred? More to the point, what is Warfred? What is he up to? Is it only Warfred? Maybe Warfred's working with Alonso. What else could Alonso be involved in? And then, like, with that final sword swipe, pointing at the door again, across the way, Damon, remembering that whole conversation that Alonso had with Luca about Damon. And it's like, oh, there's an open-ended question. Is it late enough in the day yet?
Yeah.
To bother Damon?
Yes.
Okay, the mail would have come. Willow's going to go a little bit longer, collect themselves, not just charge across the room again for him, and put their sword well back in their pocket before putting on their mask and heading to his room.
You knock and promptly get the answer of Damon opening up the door and letting you in.
Oh.
Good afternoon. Was wondering when you'd stop by today.
Yeah, when the door closes behind Willow, they take the mask off. They're gonna do an inside check, as always. Whatever. Didn't want inside anyway.
So, social call? Or are you in for another history lesson?
Oh. Did Willow even, like, respond to him?
No.
Yeah, I think they just kind of got zoned out. Oh, sorry, hello.
Hey there.
Yes, Willow's got that brief look of, what am I here for?
Damon sort of lets you collect yourself and settles.
Is the globe I gave him in the room still?
Yep, still on his desk.
Willow's going to probably start with that. I see you still haven't hidden that.
Well, I didn't think I needed to in present company.
Even with certain other people inquiring after you.
Right. That guy. Well... Damon shrugs.
Well. Unless he's friends with the antiquity store, which he probably is. I'm sure that won't matter to him.
I mean, of all the people who would have something like that, I think I'm the least strange.
Yeah, Willow will take... no, they're kind of pacing. Have you heard from him yet?
From who?
The butler.
Oh, right. No. I think he intended that meeting with Luca to be the indirect threat.
The threat of contact? I thought he was going to make a plan to meet you or something.
No, it's just shark fins in the water,
Ah, okay. Well,
as far as I know. We'll see. Haven't been contacted yet.
alright, well. Hope he doesn't.
You seem antsy about something?
Oh, the usual. Plus, well,
Damon raises an eyebrow.
Willow seems like they thought of something to ask him, but they're actually they're gonna shake their head and they're gonna sit down and dig around in their pocket instead and bring out the pendant. I should probably attune this.
Thought you'd already have by this point.
No, I've been busy.
I can imagine.
How do they? What does attuning it entail? Do they just put it on?
You put it on and you hold it for a moment to focus on attuning it.
Hmm.
It's a similar kind of focus as you would with casting a spell. It just takes a while to take effect.
Yeah. I haven't really considered what it looks like, but my instinct says it might have a blue jewel. But take that with a grain of salt, because I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah,
I imagine gold metal or a copperish,
yeah.
like brassy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does have a bright metal. I think they traditionally use red gems because health.
Okay, red makes sense.
So it could be a reddish orange or like a something like that.
Cringe. Sorry, reddish orange really looks at Damon like we have matching pendant. We don't. Like, it's not matching.
No,
but like...
it's not matching. It is a very different design, and it's also like significantly smaller.
Yeah. Thank goodness, because that would be awkward.
Yeah, it's the periapt is a small amulet necklace.
Nice. So it's not a big old chunky boy like the way Damon's is. Good.
No.
Okay.
It's like about the size of a large coin, I would say.
Willow might... They'll place it on, and they'll start like fiddling with it a little. And they might gesture then to Damon's. Any tips on how to imbue it with extra magic?
I wouldn't know. That's not my area of expertise. This is more of an heirloom.
I was kidding. I think there's like a spell of contemplative silence. I don't know if Damon wants to like insight or anything. All good if not, because I tend to roll ones and stuff.
Yeah.
I would say in general, it's clear that Willow's just thinking about a lot of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And they did mention Alonso.
Yeah. Damon's got some paperwork he's doing.
Willow might, after a silence, kind of mention while watching. I don't know what to make of the butler approaching Luca regarding you. But in the case that he is preparing to pin anything on you or frame you for anything, All of which are speculation at present. There might be nothing. Could just be a hollow threat. Whatever it is, I just Willow sort of winds down. They don't really know what they're trying to say. Kind of nervously fiddling with the chain of the necklace now.
Damon has like paused in his writing and sort of slightly glances at you, but doesn't hold eye contact. He's listening
It's
though.
okay. Willow's kind of looking away anyway. Okay. I'm sure with your understanding of events at present, you will share anything that is pertinent to know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that seems to be. Ugh. All good.
He's fine. He doesn't know what you're angling for from him necessarily in this situation.
Yeah. Don't worry,
Because
Willow doesn't either.
nah, but he doesn't seem overly concerned
Okay.
about his own safety, at least.
Yeah, it's odd because I feel like in a weird way Willow is. I don't think he catches that, but Willow's like, what am I saying? Anyway, whatever. Ugh. Willow's just reckoning with the fact that they're not asking him about what was accused of him at all. A little bit, you know? They don't even want to.
Sure you don't have questions for me?
I've looked in my usual sources for information about your history.
Here in Regalport?
Yeah. I didn't
Yeah,
say I'm
you're
spoiled
not
for
gonna-
choice. I know.
Yeah. Not gonna find much out here.
Figured. Well,
The Ir Ardantego name is more of a, I guess, bookkeeping novelty.
what does he mean by that?
It's like...
Raises an eyebrow.
So... the stuff that Damon's family would be known for is really dry documentation. Like, anything in terms of, like, noble houses of Siri sort of thing.
Right.
The family trees, etc., that would be, like, it's not anything that pirates would care about, let's
Yeah,
say.
that makes sense.
Because, really, it's like, oh, what's the Duke of Canterbury known for? Nothing. He lives in Canterbury. He's a duke. What?
Yeah.
And Damon's not even a duke. He's like... It's like asking about what the, third scribe to the Ming Dynasty emperor was, what their family was,
He's just in a noble line doesn't mean that he is like
important.
he's not. Wow. Yeah, no, that makes sense. Willow nods, like they understand.
And especially because the Ardatego family is specifically known for historical bookkeeping. Damon is somewhat of an anomaly.
Yeah.
Being an adventurer.
Adventuring nerd. Yeah, no, okay. Willow
That's what he means by that.
Willow sort of shakes their head. That isn't what I'd be looking for anyway. I'm not saying that. It was anything. At all. I don't. But you can't ask books what you must ask people sometimes.
Yeah, unfortunately. But sometimes you're lucky enough and somebody already has asked the questions and written it down in a book.
Exactly.
Unfortunately, I do not currently have a biography to my name.
That would have made a lot of things much easier. Undoubtedly.
Shouldn't believe everything you read anyway.
Oh, please. Who are you speaking to?
Fellow researcher?
Exactly. I don't want to entertain the butler's idea of blood in the water by asking at all. And at this point in time, I'm sure you would tell us. That's what I'm trying to say. But if there was something relevant.
Well, like I said to Luca, I have outlived some of the people who worked for my family. You know one of them. Old Lady Jenkins.
Willow was nodding in the way of like, yeah, I heard it before, I don't need to hear it again, but then like hearing her name is like a little ear twitch. Though Willow again kind of dismisses it. I must rack Willow's mind and meta. Oh, no, okay, Damon, talk, whatever.
Okay. Damon was gonna be like, if you're not entertaining it, then, what's still bothering you about it?
Willow just shrugs. We're in danger and I don't know what sort. Same thing that's always bothering me.
Well, my best guess with the reason the butler tried to salt the earth against me is probably to divide and conquer, as they say.
boring.
Ah, that is the banality of politics.
Willow sits back. I'm aware. Ugh. And they're gonna just like pull a book out of their pocket. Tired of thinking of them. Do you mind if I sit, study, think?
Go ahead.
Cool. Willow's gonna just flip open their journal and start writing. Again, they're annoyed that they're circling Alonso. But he's meeting with N soon. So like it's hard not to circle Alonso and be annoyed. And I trust Luca told you this already, but if he does contact you, feel free to let us know.
Will do.
At the earliest. As it stands, we are all dangling ourselves like bait in front of the potential murderers. So perhaps you could join the club.
I don't think I'd make pretty good bait.
Depends on the enemy.
Not for these guys, at least.
Never know. We're starting to write, trying to convince Damon that he is possibly in danger.
Well, you're not convincing him like this,
No,
at
that's
least.
fair. No, Willow's not trying that hard.
So,
Yeah. One more thing to mention to him, just as I've opened my journal.
Yeah?
Pardon me. They're going to see something they wrote on a previous page while they're flicking through notes. And they'll just add quickly. Oh, something to tell you as well. The people of Regal Port say thanks. Specifically from the Sea Dragons. You didn't attend the memorial. You said something, or rather about not being... whatever you said, Captain Horatio mentioned gratitude for those who assisted in the rescue of the evening, and the purpose of the memorial wasn't just grieving, it was also thanks. So...
Okay, then.
He offers that and goes back to writing.
Okay, now Damon's gonna roll an insight check. Rolled a 10. That's not great.
No. Do I have to roll something else?
If you want to contest it?
I don't think Willow is trying to contest it. So I guess
Well-
10, you get a middle of the road read of that.
Yeah.
Willow wanted to give you a nice comment
Okay.
from that countered this sort of confusingly strange thing that Damon did say.
Okay.
Yeah.
All good then.
Yeah.
Did you spend some time in companionable, quiet, reading and writing, doing your own things? Damon shifts around sometimes, picks up other books, cross-references them, does some notes. At least once he goes over to the armillary sphere that you've gotten, the celestial globe, and toggles with it a bit.
Willow's mostly just writing thoughts down, dots. They've probably got their notes.
Mm-hmm.
They're writing like another loose leaf note as well.
Mm-hmm. How long do you keep doing that?
Probably until Luca comes back or someone comes back, or until Damon needs to leave, or until my welcome is expired. Until he seems like it could benefit from me leaving. Willow's likely just kind of lose themselves into their thoughts and their reading.
Mm-hmm. In which case,
Writing.
make a perception check with disadvantage. At some point, you're not sure when exactly, Damon seems to have kicked back and dozed off with a book on his face.
Oh. Are his notes out?
They are under his legs.
What a turd. Why are you sleeping like that? I guess his legs do cover like most of the span of the room.
Yeah.
He's like 800 kilometers tall.
Yep. Precariously leaned back in the chair. Legs on the table.
Oh, okay. Is he going to tip over?
Doesn't seem like it.
How is he doing that? Willow briefly distracted from their things by looking at him like, what? Like looking at a seal balancing a ball on its nose.
Years of practice.
Yeah.
It's the Dante at the Devil May Cry office. Leaned back with magazine on face.
The temptation Willow has to bowl out the bottom legs of his chair, like with Fish Dog, just to see. No, I won't. That's mean. But,
You're not that friendly yet.
No. Yet. One day. There is like a sort of sigh of Willow being like, why am I giving him so much leeway with not hounding him about the like what that threat means? It's like, I guess I just don't want to. But I think Willow's probably staying until the periapt is like properly attuned.
Yeah, well, at that point, yes, it has been attuned for some time now.
Yeah, Willow's just been probably fiddling with it while they read and write.
Mm-hmm. Only takes an hour.
Yeah. Okay. Willow briefly considers that they could ask Damon about the sword, but they're not entirely sure about Alonso yet.
Mm-hmm.
Like, just because Damon thinks that's it. Alonso's just going to talk to Luca to threaten Damon and that's it. Like, or threaten the team. Doesn't necessarily mean that that's what's going to happen. So if I reveal that I have the sword to Damon and Damon is, compromised by Alonso, then I don't know. Just seems risky, maybe. Sucks though, because he would be a good teacher. Meh. Anything from the meta crew that I might be missing in this moment?
No, I can't think of anything.
Other than throw a wet towel at Damon while he's asleep. Like,
Let him
Just
sleep.
You
incredible
assume he's asleep.
awkwardness of
Oh,
the two
chilling.
of you being in the same room.
I thought we were over this, but no, it's never gonna. Early days.
It's never gonna go
Yeah.
away.
That's because Willow brings the awkwardness.
Yeah.
Relax.
Brings the party.
Damon doesn't respond at any time to anything I say the way that Willow expects him to. And not in a bad way this time, though.
Calibrate your expectations.
Willow's trying! Willow's trying from a new angle now. Okay, now I'm trying to be nice. It's still not working! I'm kidding. Yeah, no. It's different. It's different for reasons. I'm joking about all that. It's different for reasons kind of unrelated to Damon. Willow's just
Fair enough.
a bit scrambled. They've had a shit day. As much as they are like blitzing past it, it was rough what just happened.
Yeah.
And even after the research and all that's exhausted, they kind of just don't feel like not being here.
Do they hear Luca arrive, maybe, though?
They want
Yeah.
company.
I think they'll just chill there, even if Damon's asleep, and even if they're not really studying or anything, they're just gonna chill there in silence. Maybe
Okay.
noodle with fish dog until they hear Luca come back.
Okay. In that case, you hear Luca come back.
There it is.
I remember the freaking crime scene I left in the room, and I'm like, oh shit. I should go. Okay.
Damon
Willow's
flashes
prob-
you a thumbs up.
Oh, okay, he's awake. Okay. We was going to sneak out, but it's like, okay, thank you. Bye.
Gives you a silent wave.
Well, it closes the door behind him and releases a big puff of air and then goes into the room to find Luca there.
Yeah, Luca has just walked in and is like, Willow's bed is a...
Tapestry, one could
Yeah.
say.
Truly.
Are you going to announce yourself?
No, I'm just gonna walk in after you. I do live here. Kind
It's
of.
not. It's not that unnoticeable. You do hear the door open and close behind you.
How's it?
Bad. Willow closes the door behind him.
Okay. Let's make a sneaky little insight check onto Willow's emotional state. 11.
Frazzled.
Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to do that. With,
Well,
let
either
alone with
way.
disadvantage.
Frazzled.
Anything you would like to get off your chest?
Willow gestures at the room.
Yes. People have been talking.
Yes. Not me, though. Willow lies. On purpose, out loud. Oh.
What did you do? You don't have to tell me, obviously.
My best for the case. Willow's only answer.
You don't want to tell me? Since I am involved.
You'll find out tomorrow.
Okay.
Or when N gets back. When are they due back?
4-ish hours. And then I will be leaving.
Exciting.
Stakeout.
Willow's gonna roll up the Folly poster. I feel like they just realized how confronting it is now that like someone else is in here.
Yeah.
Yeah, and kind of sheepishly tuck it into their pockets. Even though the person it's probably most confronting for is them. But,
Yep.
Sorry, didn't want to expose any of you guys to that.
Did you steal that? Or did they give it to you?
Yes, handed out like show bags. Souvenirs.
Right.
I stole it, obviously.
Yes.
Yeah.
I suppose it's just a sheet of paper, and they have so many. So,
They're all damaged now anyway, so...
well, they're evidence, but
Then lucky I have one.
yes, that's what I'm saying. I met with Warford today.
Are you allowed to be telling me this?
Not related to the case.
Meta, is it related to the case?
It's a gray area.
Oh. I'm gonna insight check him.
Hey. What are you looking for?
What about Wolfred? Did you fight? Like,
No. Luca had an unpleasant observation. He observed an
Yeah.
unpleasant conversation.
do I know that you guys are liaising with Meraldine?
No.
I don't know that you
No.
do.
Nope.
No.
I
I
don't
don't
know
think I
that we're
do.
on a stakeout either, but Luca also said that, so
Oh!
Oh.
you shouldn't have, but whatever, I'm not there. You want to
Willow
redact
didn't
that?
seem surprised.
I'm sorry.
Okay, then maybe it's good that Willow just went, should you be telling me this? So Luca stops elaborating.
Oh, maybe.
Well, at least I know that you had a, semi-unpleasant discussion with Wolfred.
Yeah, you know,
that's
you
not-
know that Luca has encountered him.
And it was unpleasant. But
Hmm.
that's not news. He's an unpleasant person.
You didn't kill him, did you?
Luca looks at Willow like, I don't know.
It'd put a dent in my plans if you did. Though they
Your
are,
plans exactly.
can't tell you.
Why not?
Because they're liquid. At the moment.
Luca doesn't know what that means, so
Don't worry, Willow's being deliberately vague.
Luca does the confused puppy head tilt.
yes.
Huh?
Willow's just looking at all their stuff.
The state of the flowers on the table. Are they dead?
They're drying up.
Hmm.
Not looking great, I don't think anymore. Or wait,
Here's some twine.
did Willow take the dead flowers to Warfred? Was that a
No,
thing
no,
that
no.
happened?
I took my own dead flowers to Wolfred.
Right. Okay,
Yeah.
not the ones that Luca
One
offered.
to Nereus, one to Wolfred, one to the apartment. Tarek's
Mhm.
apartment.
Mm-hmm.
These were ones I bought specifically for
Yes.
Willow.
For me. Yeah.
Yes.
Do you have some twine?
They're on their way out, let's say.
Did Luca
They're
ask if I had
still-
twine?
Yes.
Hmm.
They're still
They
living?
probably do. Yeah.
Yeah, Willow will give him a little bundle of twine from their pocket.
He's gonna like pour out the flower water and then bind them up. And hang them over the balcony.
I don't think your room has a balcony. I think it's just
Window.
a window.
Hang them out of the
Like a window with a little handle over
Yeah.
it. That's what I've always
Yeah.
imagined.
Yeah.
Like a full length. Yeah. Okay. Willow's avoiding you while you do that because it's like awkward. I feel like I haven't been alone in a room with Luca properly and comfortably for a while.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think Willow's just going to kind of turn to study while you go and do that.
All right. And then after that, I think Luca will just kick his feet up and lie down, even have a soldier nap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you ask Willow to wake you up at a certain time because you have to go meet N?
Yes. Yeah, if you don't mind. Willow?
Got it. Willow will tap Fishdog on the head and it'll start like a countdown. Like the pie wedge thing again?
Yeah.
Cute.
Yeah. Starts like ticking down.
Yeah.
Um
Egg timer. Dog timer.
Yeah. Willow will probably just mention, I do hope you're all keeping an eye on Captain Meraldine.
She is well taken care of.
And then Willow goes back to reading about probably aberrations.
Mm-hmm.
And Luca takes a soldier nap.
And now we will cut back to N.
Alrighty.
A little bit into your shift, the man of the hour returns to his apartment.
His flowers? Does he have any flowers on him, or is he empty-handed?
Empty-handed.
Noted.
Make a stealth check with advantage, because you are...
Yes. Taking great lengths to keep myself hidden.
Cool.
With multiple faces.
Mm-hmm.
None of which are Audrey and or Kai or Vale. Certainly not.
Okay. Who's that guy?
Yeah, if you would like to, also please make a insight check.
Alright. How's that for insight?
Oh my god. Hey, here's the thing. Oh my god. I need to take a screenshot real quick. Hold on.
Uh-oh. Oh. Oh boy. Let me
The
guess.
good news is that natural 20 still beats
Look at that.
this. But oh my god.
Just by the skin of my teeth.
Yeah.
For the chat, Warfred also got a 21, but
Yeah.
dirty 21, not a natty. Yuck! How is high as your ew? Oh no! Oh, it's okay. We're winning. This is winning.
It's not surprising that he's high perception. I'm not shocked by
It's
that.
not-
Persuasion.
Yes.
Yeah.
Persuasion.
Persuasive. little
That too.
shit.
I'm not surprised about that either.
Nah.
But I beat it, so hi.
Yeah.
Shaking you.
For all his attempt to appear normal, you can tell that he is stressed, even from a distance.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. About an hour or so later, make another perception check.
Okay. Just flat.
This is ridiculous. I rolled a 12.
Oh my
I needed to beat it.
We are passing
Yes!
each other on the street with that look.
That being said, about an hour later, you spot Alonso Reedfoot arriving and entering the apartment.
Okay, dokie. Jot that one down too, then.
Oh my god.
Around
It takes
7-ish.
everything in me to not fucking go to a window right now, but
Mm-hmm.
keep it low-key.
Make a stealth check again, also.
With advantage, or...
Yeah.
Okay. Taking everything in me now to go over there.
Okay, good to know. Good to know.
Aww. 24. Perception.
There's a random person standing over there. Curious. I'm sure you think that about every random person that comes down your street.
How far
Criminal.
away are you standing from the apartment?
Can you describe kind of the layout I'm working with?
I imagine the apartment building is like on a sort of wedge-shaped block of buildings that has an internal courtyard around the back. So it's like an apartment block, and then there's like a sort of, I would say a secondary road that leads into the main road that it's on.
Mm-hmm.
So you could be anywhere from 100 to like 300 feet away and still have a pretty good line of sight on it.
Yeah. And there's no like establishments or something I could just be loitering in within view.
There's like maybe one or two, but because you have specifically chosen to like circle
Yeah, I mean, I might if
Now and
if there
then.
was a like cafe or something or like a shop. There might have been times where I'd like venture to
Yeah.
the shop and situate myself near a window for a little bit just to spice it up, so I'm not just walking in circles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if it's starting to get darker, I might consider that. Though I suppose if it's darker, I have night vision. I might try to
There are also streetlights.
yes, but there's still shadows. That implies even more that there are shadows. Yeah. So maybe like I want to say 50, 65 feet away somewhere. Maybe not well lit if it's starting to get dark. Just
Okay.
not as if I'm standing suspiciously, just like
Okay, so relatively close.
halfway between as far as possible. I just think that might be where I am in my circle when this happens.
Okay.
But then I'll keep walking.
Okay.
Probably not stop walking, just slow down to observe and then keep walking.
Okay. Yeah, make one more stealth and perception check, please.
Okay.
Okay. About half an hour later, Alonso Reedfoot departs once more.
Alright, half an hour. I guess that perception check is gonna do me for his state.
Yeah.
Fair
You
enough.
can't inside?
Nope.
I'm at a distance and I'm not necessarily going to make myself any more known.
No.
Yeah. Okay. Nothing else occurs during your shift.
I didn't die, and I'll take that.
Mhm. Yep.
Yet.
There's always time.
Mm-hmm.
Never say never.
Oh, I don't.
In which case, it's about time that Luca shows up to relieve you of duty.
Yeah, so is it too late to like meet up at the cafe at a bit of a distance?
No, I think you can meet outside the cafe. It's closed for the night, but that's
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah, so Audrey will
Oh,
swing
give
past
me
there.
one more survival check.
Speaking of not dying,
Roll to survive, bitch.
I always do.
Oh,
And that's usually what I roll. So
Yeah.
That is, you have not found a suitable location, in your opinion, where Luca could be stationed safely.
it's on you, buddy.
okay.
Hey,
I'm gonna casually be standing outside. Yes.
can I how far could Fish Dog follow Luca?
Don't.
No?
No.
You're not allowed
You
to
don't
know
want
about
Fish
this.
What's
Dog.
the direction? No,
Like-
that's what I mean, like without you guys knowing.
You also don't want Fish Dog out in Regalport, right?
To be
Not attached to
seen.
me.
But it's pretty obvious who owns it.
Yeah.
It
never
is
mind.
unique.
If I wanted to stealth you, I'd do it myself, I guess, to figure
Yeah.
out what you guys are doing.
Mm-hmm.
Trust us.
I trust you guys. It's more having information that I'm contractually obliged not to have.
In this case, it might be better if you don't.
I don't know that.
Yeah.
Willow is thinking of ways to tail you guys. They might watch Luca to see what direction he goes in. Like from the window. From a window.
Yeah.
And then you can wildly speculate about what's in that direction.
Great, more speculation. Just what I needed.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Oh, yes.
better than having information you shouldn't have when you get mind melted. You get
I
mind
both.
crushed.
Anyway.
Yep.
Carry on.
Anyway, I think Luca will stand casually outside the cafe and look despondent that it is closed.
Yeah, 10 p.m. Everything's shut down. Or rather, the cafes are shut down. The bars are still open.
No midnight cake for Luca.
Hmm.
Ah, you knew what I was planning.
I know you too well, Mr. Carnson. I also know my shift is up and it's your turn.
Luca puts a finger to his lip, like, we're being incognito.
Audrey's probably talking in message about the sensitive stuff. And probably has this
Of
very
course.
disconcerting way of talking half aloud, and then when they start taking sensitive, they go directly into your brain. And this is just habit now. So.
I wonder if there's anywhere else around here that sells desserts.
Well, unfortunately, that's not what I was looking for. I couldn't find you a good hiding place either, so I'm afraid that'll be on you. You are... Audrey, like, gestures in a shape around Lucas' form. A little bit sizable, so, do your best. I would suggest a rooftop if you can manage it. You are a little better at climbing than N tends to be.
Luca grins at that because there's no way he can not.
I did notice a few
Well-
things on my watch.
Luca nods, like, give me the hot goss.
Well, Morfred left during Brino's watch. Don't know where he went during that time, but when he returned...
Oh, he was with me.
I beg your pardon, Luca, what?
said in the brain, of course.
Audrey smiles.
He came to visit Captain Frostroot, and they spoke very tensely with one another.
I see. Is he on to us?
Not yet. Not that I could tell.
Well, I suppose that explains at least one place he visited while he was out. He did seem stressed upon his return. Oh,
Luca
and...
nods.
For about half an hour, he was paid a visit by one Mr. Reedfoot.
Luca makes a face.
He's gone now. As far as I know, Warford is still comfy inside his little abode, but... Well, we know that they're making contact more than... by accident.
It's not exactly unsuspicious.
Certainly not. Audrey snaps her book shut. And that's where you come in. See if he gets any other visitors or bright ideas. Well, I go and take a nap.
Rest well, Miss Audrey.
Watch sharply, Luca Carnson. Audrey gives a little salute and heads out.
Yeah.
Watches her go. Can I look around to see if I may discern somewhere well suited for a man like me?
Yes, make a survival check or a perception check.
Can I make a perception check? Because then
Sure.
I can use my extra.
Your little extra dice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Doesn't help.
Nope.
That's just 3 more than me.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so on a 6, you sort of try and stand inconspicuously on a corner where you can still get a good view of that place. Make a stealth check.
Oh my god.
Just flat.
Yeah,
It's
that's
not
alright.
bad.
Decent. Okay.
You know, Kronk against the wall.
Yeah.
That's Luca.
That's truly what we're dealing with here, yes.
He's trying his best, I promise.
I
can
believe in
tell.
you.
Does that make it better or worse?
I don't know.
Worse.
But...
So, oh, okay, I don't know.
Okay. Audrey, you head back. You
I
check
do.
your P.O. box.
I do.
There is a note from Jaylee confirming the meeting tomorrow evening around 7 p.m.
Oh, that was quick. Good.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted. I'll probably shoot a brief note back to her just to
Yeah.
confirm I got it, and knew I could count on you. I'll come by before the studio closes, and we can go over the details then. I look forward to working together with you, Miss Hazelwood Castor. Just send that off.
Okay.
It's still confidence. It's still confidence.
Yeah.
Everything's fine.
Should arrive first thing in the morning with the rest of the mail.
Good. Okay. Yep. So I'll swing on back to the Gold Dragon then. Try to get some shut-eye, though I'm not sure how much
Yeah.
I'm gonna get.
Yeah, you've got 6 a.m. shift.
Great. Love that.
What's En's vibe when they come back?
So close.
So close.
I think and definitely like preoccupied. You can tell a lot is on their mind. They like barely even acknowledge Willow in the room when they come in. When they come in and start unpacking their stuff, and they're already like going over. Like they open their book and start flipping through it and rubbing their brow, and then they're like, "Oh, hi, Willow."
Willow nods at you like they've been watching you the whole time. You've been just ignoring them. Yeah, they're still at their desk, probably reading.
What's the good news? Gives a wry smile.
Haven't you read the papers?
Unfortunately.
Not much of that. So, Willow shrugs.
Any bad news?
Do I have any new bad news? I don't think I do. Do I? Other than the news that I laid myself.
I think that's about it.
Yeah, that's it. Oh, actually, you know what? I think Willow kind of forgot to do this before, or maybe they're just weird. Anyway, they're probably gonna lean back and tap their earring, and it's gonna have the voice of Thaddeus suddenly come out of it, describing the person that visited the scuttlebutt.
You hear the tinny quality of magical audio recording going, dwarven fella.
Yeah.
That sort of thing.
Oh.
Dress real fancy.
Oh. That's a little damning, isn't it?
Only with context. Out of context, it just sounds like silly
Some
rambling.
random dwarf
But
deciding to go to gossip rags to spit whatever nonsense he feels like.
exactly. So it's Miller shrugs.
Yeah.
Part of a building web, I suppose.
For him and for us, I'd say.
Yep.
Speaking of webs, En's gonna wiggle the letter around. Guess what this is?
Miller raises eyebrows. They're tired. They don't want to guess. Jaylee?
Yes. It's another letter from Jaylee confirming an appointment between the three of us tomorrow night. Three of us being her, me, and Alonso. I'm planning to act as her agent, and yeah.
Willow's eyebrows bounce when they're like, Jaylee's going.
Yeah.
Jaylee's going.
Yes.
Jaylee's going.
Yes, Jaylee is.
Willow's eyes behind their glasses just like
We
ticker tape. Jaylee's going.
we discussed it, and we came to the conclusion that it was probably best that we meet him together. There's a lot of pitfalls to me impersonating her. Not only does impersonating her mean that I could be found out very quickly and not even know Alonso has figured me out. Then Alonso can just leave, and then I wouldn't even know if he's either figured me out or what he's gunning for, and then it just closes down my opportunity right there. The second problem with just me going is Jaylee, is that it endangers her in the long run. It's better I just show up and put myself between the two of them very bluntly.
I will say, pretty much as soon as you started explaining it, the question of Jaylee's going fades away into like, of course, it's the smarter choice. Like, before you even started explaining it, I feel like it started falling into line for Willow, and they sort of like listening while massaging their head a bit. Like, yeah, of course, it's an unpleasant solution, but it is probably wiser because throwing yourself in there is more sus than just showing up as a friend. Way more sus. It's like escalating for no reason. So yeah, Willow gets it completely. They're just kind of nodding as like the initial shock wears off.
Yeah. Besides, if I can divert attention, that would be better than if I draw more attention to her. I still don't know what's going on with any of this, so I'd rather just show up as a problem than a replacement.
Willow nods. They agree. It's like making it quite obvious that they agree. They'll add, at this stage, it seems unlikely that Alonso has any reason to harm Jaylee.
For now, I don't see any reason why he would go for the throat immediately, but...
Immediately.
That's what I'm hoping to suss out or dissuade with my presence. He knows she's not isolated. That might at least deter him long enough for us to figure out how to cut out his legs from under him.
Willow nods. In a way, it's like a kind of sickened... It was rough enough knowing that... Maybe I shouldn't elaborate on this. Feel free to do an insight check to know how if Willow...
Sure.
Anyway.
I'll look at you.
Wish you wouldn't.
No, good though. I think it's very obvious that N is like quite concerned with Jaylee's safety. So
Yeah.
So they're very preoccupied with that thought. Like they're with how they're talking and their body language, it's like Jaylee's safety is the utmost concern here to them. And
yeah,
that
well,
is succeeded by being there with her.
yeah, Willow's, I'll say for the camera, Willow's got that times 2. Now there's 2 of you to make sure nothing happens to. At least.
So in saying that, Willow Jenkins, are you free tomorrow night?
So long as Mr. Bartosz doesn't make our 3rd appointment, then yes.
Good. I will be asking for you and Luca to make yourselves available on the off chance something explodes in a little Ferrani-owned studio tomorrow night. Not that that's what I'm aiming for. In fact, the last thing I want is a fight to break out, but... And shrugs. You never know.
Willow will... The only reassurance they can offer at the moment is Edmund Beckett has no reason to want to kill an artist in her own studio.
Not that I know of.
Not that
when
I
he
know of.
still wants to purchase her work.
This is a business meeting.
That's all it
You
is.
don't tend to kill people at business meetings, so... Well.
I mean... Sounds like you've been to some pretty boring business meetings. I'm kidding.
Willow
That's
gives
just...
you a look.
and waves off. Willow's look.
Yeah.
Anyway, I was thinking Fish Dog, the same way we situate it outside of Warford's apartment. Maybe we can do a similar thing here. I'm planning to arrive at the studio early so I can arrange a scene, which does give us an advantage over the Warford situation.
Willow raised their hand in the way of don't even mention it. They've picked up Fish Dog and they will say, perhaps give a keyword. I'll put Fish Dog within... should I tell you this?
You know what? Maybe not.
Yeah, no, actually, I'm going to keep you well out of it. On purpose this time.
Strategy. Well, I think we can use the same word we've been using across the board for when things go to shit.
Yeah. I'm sure Caster is likely to talk about food randomly off the cuff, it sounds.
Sounds like
Plausible.
them.
So, I will not tell you about what I plan to do, but trust that you have backup. Or not. Who knows?
Sure, everything will be fine.
Do you need me to set an alarm?
I've got it. I doubt I'm gonna flop back in their bed. Doubt I'm sleeping much anyway.
Willow's going to set the alarm. Also, even if Luca didn't imply that, or didn't say that you guys are doing stakeouts, I think the fact that you guys are taking 4-hour shifts in the middle of the night is kind of like, they're doing stakeouts.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
En's got 8 hours before their next shift.
Yeah. Okay, well, Willow set the alarm just in case. And go back to studying. I'm going to do at least a solid hour,
Okay,
2 if I can.
sure.
I've been studying kind of like the whole time.
Yeah. Well, what do you want to find out?
So I'm still researching aberrations and Dalkia. Last time I did a history check. I think this time, what were my other options? Arcana and
Nature.
nature. Can I do 2 tonight, or is it 1 per day?
I think you can do 2 tonight.
Okay, cool. Because I have been studying since the afternoon.
Yes, so you get advantage on both of those checks.
Ooh, okay.
Yay!
I will do nature. What does nature entail?
Nature would be their biology
Okay, let's go nature.
and
first.
habitats, that sort of thing.
Nice.
So, the general consensus on aberrations is that aside from a couple of things that make sense on a couple of them, their biology doesn't make sense. That is what sort of universally defines them as being part of that category. There is no unifying body plan or biology that links them all together. They tend to be pretty weird. They are physical.
Well, that's a start.
So that's something at least.
We can stab them.
But it doesn't seem like there's that much uniting them. Some of them are insectoid, some of them are more cephalopodian in nature, some of them are straight up like just bags of goo. Others appear to be like the Dolgrims and Dolgorns that you have seen previously. They literally, physically, if you had dissected them, appear to be like 2 creatures mushed together like plasticine. And by all
Right.
accounts, their biology shouldn't work. Like, they should die immediately for existing the way they do, but they don't.
So when you say 2 shoved together like plasticine, does that kind of mean like they don't have like organs even to analyze? Like not
No, they
sensitive
have organs, but it's like it's as if you took Dolgrim specifically look like you have taken 2 goblins and then just like smushed them together to the point
So
where
there's no, like-
everything is
Mhm.
tangled up in a nonsense way.
Okay. So it is a nonsense. Okay.
Yeah, that's like their bones don't make sense, their organs don't make sense.
Right. That's interesting though, because yeah. Okay.
Or like at least not in a way that traditional study allows.
Yeah. So arguably, if you cut a limb off an aberration, its insides would be a mess.
Yes.
Good to know.
They do die, but it's like all the things that you would typically expect on, say, like a regular mammal or vertebrate of any kind aren't in the right places,
Yeah.
which makes them difficult.
Can imagine. So if you tried to stab a Dalkia, or sorry, an aberration,
Yeah.
in the chest, aiming for the heart, there is a high chance that you you might not get a heart.
Yeah.
Okay. So there's no point like going for main arteries or unmain arteries. It's like your intestines have pulled in your lower left knee if you're an aberration. And there's 12 of them because you're 12
Yeah.
or 6. What? Wait, what?
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
You're a bunch of different guys, like a clown car. Okay, super.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Yeah. There's some of them, like the Dolgrims, like, yes, this appears to have organs generally around about where you would expect them to be, except there tend to be double of them. Also, there are definitely 2 brains in there. Only 1 apparent skull. The second brain sometimes is like in like the hunch of the back. It's weird.
That's gross. Yeah.
It's nasty.
Resident Evil monsters.
Aberrations
Yeah,
in
yeah, I
general
feel you.
are like just terrible to behold. Terrible to look at.
Beholder.
Terrible to study.
Yeah. Ugh, yuck. Willow's little doodles in their book when they study would be awful. In this case, like the doodle of like one humanoid body shape or something with like multiple organs in it, but in the wrong place.
Yeah.
Ugh, yuck.
What if you took like a set of organs and just like shook them up in a jar?
Yeah,
Nasty.
good, great.
I've got a jar of dirt, and guess what's inside it? It's a heart!
It's 3 hearts.
2. Yeah.
It's as many as you want, but you'll never find them, kind of like a regenerator.
Yeah.
God. Yuck. Okay, well, I'm sure Willow took a break from that to eat dinner and then return to studying.
Yeah.
So probably what they're studying when N comes in is Arcana. I think that's what they'll finish up when N
Yep.
comes in.
Okay.
Ugh. Okay.
So, Arcana check is sort of their magical capabilities.
Right.
19, that's pretty good. So, a lot of aberrations appear to have psychic or mental powers. Sometimes they do also have magical abilities or specifically magical resistances. Something about their alien nature makes them difficult to affect with spells.
Hmm.
Some of them, at least. Not all of them. Some of them are just weirdly malleable. Others get affected by magic as normal. Once again, the problem with aberrations is that they are vastly diverse and difficult to classify, but are classified together due to that common difficulty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you say difficult to affect with spells, is that only like psychic spells or in general, like magic?
In
with
general,
modified-
it would be like it would be classified as like magic resistance, which is something that sometimes very powerful beasts have because they are innately so magical that they are sort of immune to spell casting effects.
Yeah.
Other times it's because something is so immutable that they cannot be affected by magic. In this case, it tends to be that, like, the understanding is that the aberrations are just so unusual that some of them are able to resist magical influence.
Okay. Yeah, like, how do I hit this aberration's brain? Which one?
Yeah.
Magical, but not stabical.
Yeah.
I guess.
I'll go back to sleep.
Yeah.
This is kind of worsening the nerves, because it's like might be resistant to magic. Looks at an tiny thing of magic. Like,
I've got knives.
Not all of them, but
Not all of them, I know.
it's a notable trait in some of them.
Willow considers for a second, like, can N be given the knife, the sword? N doesn't have any sword proficiency, and carrying I'm an aberration killer sword is very, like,
It's a bit of
obvious as well.
a
It's a bit of
telltale
a
sign. It's a bit of a
come at me,
giveaway.
so-
Showing my hand a bit early.
Yeah.
Hello,
so Willow's just
suspected
trying to-
aberration.
What's this upon my hip? Ah, I see.
Pay it
To
no
the care of
mind.
ye.
Tis but as an accessory.
No, okay, so Willow's just gonna rack their mind for ways to prepare you guys for this, other than writing down so that you can know. So that you can read it and know. You and Luca both. I've also had to double
Knowing
up
is
writing
half
these
the
things.
battle.
I know.
Knowing is
And it's
also
hard-
very scary.
Yeah. I will say too, like, I did that thing, like, Damon answered the shape-shifting question where it's like, yeah, this was probably likely a shapeshifter, but then all of the information I have is like not really leaning towards them being the same thing. So I'm like, huh? Can I do any kind of check on that front in case I'm missing something that Willow would get?
Are you looking for aberrations that can change shape? You can
Yeah.
try and look for that. Okay. So. Let me look. I think the one... I think there's not anything that suggests that aberrations typically take the form of humanoids, at least in this book. But there is obviously a limitation to how much this has in terms of information. All of the aberrations, at least in this tome, do not appear to be voluntary shape changers in the way that, say, changelings are.
Can I do my own research regarding what I asked Damon? I'm kind of on the aberration wicket though, so if Willow's just kind of trying to compute, like, if I have confirmed mentally that there was some sort of shape-shifting monster at the event, or like a monster concealed, or because we confirmed that there was no, like, manifest hole opened, did we?
No.
There was no sign of
No
summoning.
sign of that. No sign of
So-
summoning and no sign of manifest zone or anything like that.
So it is at this stage, Willow has all but confirmed through what N said and what Damon said that if there's a monster on site, then it was taking the form of a person.
It was either taking a form of a person or concealed in some way.
Yeah. Okay. If I switch gears from the aberration thing, can I start looking into like, I don't know, concealment? Is there anything in this book about like concealing beasts? I don't know how that would. It's not a
No,
good
I don't
glossary,
think.
huh?
Yeah. You
Damon
could
didn't
look
know.
at what kind of shape changers there are, but
Yeah. I think Willow might start doing that just because they're feeling a bit like they don't know. But I don't know if they're going to end up scrambling themselves by dipping into too many thoughts at once. Highly likely. Especially if they keep finding no results. And it's highly likely it is really like dawning on them, I guess. More so than when they were going to go to Warfred to figure this out themselves. That N and Jaylee might be the ones to figure it out with Alonso in a way. It's nerve-wracking. They don't
Yeah,
want that
isn't
to
it?
happen, so I'm trying.
I'm saying I care about you, and it's nerve-wracking for you to do the same thing.
Okay. It's just different. I'm not saying it's not nerve-wracking for you guys. It's just different.
This is all stressful.
Yeah. Willow's just gonna keep reading. Whatever else may seem applicable.
give me one intelligence check with advantage. See what you dig up.
Oh, shit.
19s across the board.
Yeah.
Okay.
We are having a
okay.
consistent night. And I just dodged a night one.
Okay, so you look around for aberrations with shape changers. So you come to the entry for doppelganger, which is a humanoid monstrosity, though some argue that it should be classified as an aberration. There is a lot of hotly contested debate about the classification of certain creatures and the classification model of what types creatures are. But according to current study, the doppelganger is a medium to small humanoid that in its true form appears as a featureless bluish gray humanoid with sort of pearlescent white eyes. They are malevolent mimics that tend to read the minds of people, then assume their identities, usually as predators. They are believed to have some connection to changelings, though they do not have the humanity of changelings.
Huh.
And they are known for being able to read thoughts, specifically surface thoughts.
That's handy.
Yep.
Okay, I feel like Willow was beginning to spiral for a bit there, and then they catch this and they're like, something. Something. That's something.
Yep.
And never said what kind of monster. I don't know about the tendon under Tarek's nails. I don't even know that Warfred can read minds at this point. I just know that someone might do something to do with memory. And that the Snapdragons read minds. So this is relevant information. I'm gonna write that shit down. Oh god, thank god. I feel like Willow was gonna like doing the stressed thing. This is something to write down.
Mm-hmm.
Better than nothing.
And on that note, I think we'll watch Willow close the book and go to bed. We pick up with Luca keeping watch
It's me.
outside of Orfred Bartosh's apartment. Please make.
Skanky ass apartment.
Okay.
Just kill the mood, bro.
I'm so sorry.
You were saying, Zeke?
Please make a perception check
Oh.
as you keep watch.
18.
Ooh,
Nice.
pretty good. You carefully keep sentry, an eye on the door, looking for any movement. Lights turn off. All is quiet. All is quiet. Make another stealth check and another perception check.
So, 16.
Okay. And one more perception check.
10.
Okay. Okay. Oops, sorry. Just ignore that.
I didn't see anything.
Well, yes, it's to GM. I said I'll just ignore that. No,
Oh,
anyway.
okay.
I am making dice rolls in secret.
What?
Yeah, I thought so. Wow, you do that? I'm totally
Yeah.
I'm
shocked.
shocked.
I sure
Never
do.
would have guessed.
What are you thinking while you are keeping watch, if anything?
I'm trying. Heads empty, boy.
Little marching cats meme. Marching band cats.
Yeah.
I would say, if it is possible for him, Luca is like splitting his attention. So,
Mhm.
say 70% watching for changes and focusing,
Mhm.
even if it's little things like a bird coming by,
Mhm.
and then 30% making plans on talking to Willow.
Mhm.
So, just going over what he said to Willow and how he can resolve it.
Makes sense. Okay. In that case, nothing else happens that evening. The clock chimes midnight, and you hear a fluttering of wings. Or rather, the clock chimes 2 a.m. and you hear a fluttering of wings.
Do I recognize the little pigeon passing by?
Well, it is 2
Yep.
a.m., so
Yeah.
no other
Your shift
birds.
is up.
Is that a signal to me? Do I
Yes,
speak
it
bird
is.
now? Nice.
No. But it is a signal.
All right, then I'll just head back.
Hi, I'm so scared. I'm actually genuinely so scared.
It's okay. It's okay. Stay calm.
I heard your little squeaks of fear.
Yeah.
Did nothing happen, or do you just not know what happened? Questions.
Ian was just asking
far
what
as-
Luca was thinking. No big deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, no big deal.
As far as Luca knows, nothing happened.
Luca
All was
doesn't even know
quiet.
Warford can read minds and hasn't shared that detail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not like I was thinking about it like Gil Gasket or anything. I was thinking about my pal Willow Jenkins.
Yeah.
Luca and his wife. Willow Jenkins, also known as Gil Gasket, also known as Cognaut.
Yep.
Anyway, you head back and see the figure of Brina settling in her rumpled trench coat.
I give her a passing nod, but I don't approach her because that would be suspicious.
Yeah.
Yep.
She nods back. And that's it. That's your interaction.
Yeah.
You head back home to the Gold Dragon Inn at 2 in the morning.
Yep.
How does Luca find the others?
I think En's trying to sleep, so En's sprawled in their bed, but I don't think they're sleeping very deeply, if at all.
Mm-hmm.
They've got a lot of thoughts running through their heads. They're kind of tossing and turning. Willow's probably been listening to them like roll back and forth and maybe wake up and quote unquote wake up, jot something down. Like hopefully maybe if I write it down, it'll get out of my head and I'll sleep. Doesn't work. So
They write like the dog oven is full of tacos, and then underline it. It's super important. And we go back to sleep.
they're too awake for that, unfortunately. They're too lucid, so they're actually writing important things and underlining them and then like putting it down, but still with like the pencil in their hand. And then they do it again at least 30 minutes later.
Oh, sweetie.
If N is like stirring a lot, is there anything I can roll to see if they wake me up? Like, because Willow went to bed thinking that N was asleep or going to sleep. If I wake up in the middle of the night and N's still awake, then I'll probably end up like sharing intel with them. My study.
Yeah,
I think you both like come to when Luca returns, because that way you're all three of you are in the room.
yeah.
Yes, makes sense.
And Luca, while you try to arrive as quietly as you can, the other two are restless.
Yeah.
Yeah. En's trying to be asleep. En's like laying on their stomach, hugging their pillow, but the bed's all messed up, so it's like obvious that they're trying every arrangement they can to get comfortable to sleep, but they are not. Like face buried in the pillow, blankets ajar, hair a mess.
Fish dog is like got the timer coming down next to you, and I feel like it's so daunting when you look at it. Like every time you look back, it's like, is it morning yet? No,
It's like the 24 countdown sound.
No, it's not make. It doesn't make sound. Willow would kill it if it made sound.
Yeah,
but
of
like,
course.
yeah,
That's the vibe, though.
yeah. The tension in the room is palpable for two people who are apparently asleep.
Yeah, En's trying to pretend they're asleep. Like they don't move when Luca comes in. They're familiar with the sound of his approach. So yeah, exactly. So they don't wake up or look, quote unquote, wake up or look in his direction. But yeah, that is the state in which you find them in.
Can I order room service? Late night room service?
Not at 2 a.m. Everything's closed.
Is there at the very least tea in the room?
Yeah.
Yeah, Willow would have kept like stuff in the room.
You can have a kettle in the room. I'm sure that much convenience is allowed.
Okay, I'll make everyone a tea. No sugar though, because we want to go to sleep. This is sleepy time tea.
Thanks, Luca.
And
So
yeah, I'll bring
Luca
everyone tea in
arrives
bed.
and Luca arrives and sees the state of things. I think Willow has been catching some sleep.
Yeah, I
But
have.
yeah.
Willow does that wake up of like, it's time. Oh, it's still 2 a.m. It's time. Oh, it's 2:01.
Not time
like
yet.
that kind of. Yeah, like numerous power naps kind of vibe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
not good. So,
Yeah.
have some tea. Here you go.
I think if Luca starts making tea, then Willow's gonna like get up and start pacing. Stretching.
Well, no, that's not good. Go to sleep. Lie down.
Unless, is Luca actually saying that?
Well, he wouldn't say it like that.
He'll imply it.
No, Willow's giving you the look like, I'm just stretching. Leave me. Like, leave me be.
Well, that gets your blood moving, and that will wake you up.
This is all happening speechlessly.
No.
Like, just with the looks that they're giving each other. It's just, leave me alone. I'm just like...
All right. I'll leave you alone.
En's
I
like,
will make
maybe,
tea for En.
maybe if I don't move, I won't scare the sleep away.
I'm afraid it does not work like that.
I know. But En's like hasn't moved even with like the tea being made and placed on their bedside table. They're still
Oh, no,
trying.
he's going to deliver it onto En so that they get up and take it.
En rising, this like bleary and confused. Not because they've slept, but because they haven't, and that's the problem.
That's the problem. If you just drink this and then close your eyes and you'll fall asleep in no time.
Yeah, better knock me out.
Luca, okay?
I am perfectly okay.
I haven't
To
slept.
both of you bitches. So
And we'll throw back the tea like a shot, and throw back themselves like a shot back into bed. Little bounce as they land and bundle up their blankets. Like aggressively make themselves comfortable.
Trying to sleep, but mad at sleep.
Yeah. Why won't you let me fucking sleep?
I think Luca fixes the edges of the bed so that it's not so rumpled.
Tucked in.
Yeah. Snoodle them up. That's how you comfort a baby to sleep.
Baby doesn't have this many problems to worry about.
I'm sure there are babies that have this many.
Awful, horrible, miserable thought. So Willow's probably had a stretch and then they sat back down in bed. Probably watching Luca. I think
Luca
Willow
brings
might
them a
mention.
tea.
Yeah, Willow will nod. Have I noticed? I noticed that En is like restless, obviously,
Yes.
and En hasn't told Luca yet about the Jaylee appointment.
They have.
I was there when
Anyway,
they made it.
Yeah, Luca was there, and En probably talked to Luca about it.
Didn't you come back on your own? So like the confirmation of it.
I
the
guess I
confirmation,
haven't
no.
told Luca about the exact
Yeah.
timing yet, so feel free if you want. I'm gonna try and sleep.
Willow will. Yeah, Willow will quietly tell Luca so that En doesn't hear. We have an appointment tomorrow evening.
With who?
Back up for En and Jaylee.
Okay. I think I'll have to tell Detective that I can't have lunch with her.
It's at 7 p.m.
Dinner.
Willow shakes. Willow doesn't laugh. Mim laughed. Fuck. Willow squints at Luca in that way of like, I can't tell if you're serious, but nods. Okay.
Good. You'll never know. Everything all right otherwise?
Willow glances at En. A suitable amount of nerves, I think.
That's to be expected.
Yeah, I think after having the tea, En is like focusing on breathing exercises that Elsa taught them, and just like, you gotta sleep. You want to handle this well, you gotta sleep. So their breathing has kind of shifted now. Not just sleep breathing, but you can tell they're trying to not be aggressive about this.
Sleep. But no, you're like being chill now.
I think Luca will take one of his pillows and like shove it under the blankets under En's bed. Put your
Why?
legs up.
Like
It
for
will
the-
help you sleep.
Oh.
kind of jerks, looks at Luca like a frazzled, upset cat that you've just like petted when it was trying to sleep. And then their head will drop back into the pillow. Like, fucking whatever.
And I think Willow has now written out a copy. While I told you, I think Willow took like this time to write you a copy of all of the aberration and Dalkia notes. So
Sweet.
yeah, that they'll hand to you.
That
With
N
probably
got.
Yeah, the other day.
Yeah, plus the new information, which I need to give to N as well. But I've been writing double in case N wants to keep theirs. So yeah, you guys are getting handouts from Willow.
Thanks.
Oh, yeah.
If Willow asked for it back to add additions to, Anne would have given it back. But they are otherwise
Willow just write a
keeping it.
separate one.
Yeah.
But they don't want to give it to you yet because you're already having trouble sleeping.
Fair.
So yeah, they'll just hand it to Luca for now, and with the preface, like, or prefacing that maybe not bedtime reading unless you want it.
I still have to write, so thank you.
Willow raises their tea and thanks for giving, and we'll try and get back to sleep probably.
And Luca will do some quick writing. Maybe skim the note from Willow. Drink his tea. He's kind of hungry, but 'tis what it is. So,
You did eat dinner before you like went out again.
yeah. But the focus makes you hungry
Yeah.
and tired. So, he's ready for sleep.
Yep.
Have you ever been on like a 4-hour drive? No, none of you have your license. Never mind.
I've been on road
been on
trips, but I
long-
haven't.
Yeah, but it's very different when you're the driver because of the focus.
This is
Yeah.
true.
I bet it's even more
This is
exhausting.
true.
Incredibly. That's why they recommend you take so many breaks, because that much focus for that long in non-moving position,
Yeah.
incredibly
Yeah.
tiring.
Yeah.
Sorry, just
Drive safely, everybody.
yeah.
Public service announcement, take breaks. Plan them into
Yep.
your trip. Find
Mhm.
fun places along the way.
Anyway.
Yeah, so journal, skim the note, have some tea, flop onto bed with no pillow.
There should be 2 pillows each.
There would be 2
Yeah, but-
pillows.
Yeah, but
If
Luca
not,
would have
Willow's
put
giving
them
you one of
under
their pillows.
N's legs to pile
Willow's
them
tossed you
up.
one of their
I
pillows.
only need one. I'm very small.
And is tiny.
Keep your pillow, please. Your neck is precious. That's why I'm not letting you approach any of these people.
My neck is precious? Thank you.
Yeah. Take that however you want. Go the fuck to sleep.
There's a dragon mark on it.
Yeah, a lot of people are gonna want that.
Skinned?
Maybe.
Peel it off.
Good night.
Luca goes
Good
to
night.
sleep.
You've been reading about aberrations too long. Go the fuck to sleep.
It's very much the energy of like everybody's at the sleepover trying to sleep.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
It's not working great.
Could be better.
But everyone wants to sleep. This is a sleepover where sleep was intended.
Yeah.
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 All right then.
Mhm.
If there's nothing else, then you all sleep. Wake up the next day. And you wake up bright and early, 6 a.m. The other
Beep
two are
boop.
still dozing.
I
Yeah.
can imagine it. It's so stupid. Fish dog just slamming itself into N's face to wake them up.
What?
What I
Because he
might
doesn't want to wake the other two up.
what I might instead imagine is like fish dog softly buzzing to wake N up, but that startles N enough that they like sit up fast enough and hit their face in more fish dog.
Oh my god.
No.
Fish dog gently floats over you to you. It's like real low, more frequency than noise, and just bonk.
Reedfoot, Ricochet.
Fish dog just spins away.
Anyway. Probably more accurately is like I can imagine Fish Dog softly buzzing closer and closer to En's cheek, and En's still startling, but not quite that dramatically.
Yeah.
Like, kind of sits up frantically and grabs at Fish Dog and like tucks it against the blankets and looks around and then remembers where they are and remembers what Fish Dog is and looks at the time.
You know how your phone vibration on the alarm is like a more pleasant wake up
Yeah,
than the annoying sounds? I imagine that's what
Yeah.
Fish Dog does.
yeah.
Yeah.
And like a pesky little alarm clock, En's gonna like stop the buzzer and toss Fish Dog into the air and start to get ready to go.
Yeah. It's like 5:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
Up and at 'em.
Open at him. Get cleaned up. Put my face on. In more ways than one.
Yep.
And yeah, guess I'll go relieve Brina.
Yep. You arrive. Brina is yawning heavily,
Poor thing.
No.
leaning up against a shut cafe stall. There's the faint sounds of the city slowly coming to life. The bakers and other people who have to be up with the dawn are
Yeah.
there. Brina gives you a wave.
Audrey
Ugh.
waves back.
Did you get enough sleep?
Oh, enough. Seems like you could use a little more.
I'm just not used to pulling all-nighters anymore.
Hmm.
Ugh.
Anything of note?
Nope. Nothing of note for me.
Good.
Celia should replace you about 10 a.m.
Excellent. I do have an appointment this evening, and Audrey will give the time. So if we can work our shifts around that, that would be excellent.
Sure, I'll see what I can do.
Thank you very much.
Alright, well. She gives you a wave.
Yep.
See you later.
Have a good day.
Cool.
I will go resume my little changeling rounds, I suppose.
Yep. Make a stealth check and a perception check.
Do I still get advantage on the stealth checks?
Yes.
Ooh.
Ooh. Ooh.
Alright, starting
Okay.
strongish.
Mm-hmm. Good to know. Okay. Let us jot back over to the Gold Dragon.
Ooh.
What time do Luca and Willow wake up?
I imagine Lucas still wakes up relatively early. That's just what
Same
he's
here.
accustomed to.
Same
Mhm.
for Willow. As soon as
Rise
the
with the
goals start,
dawn.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's hard not to be prepared to wake.
You wanna share
and Willow
breakfast?
Sure.
Nice. So Luca orders food in.
Yeah, Willow's just planning the day ahead. They intend to go relatively early to walk past Jaylee's workplace. I don't think they've been there before, so they're going to try and like locate it and have a look, subtle look at a kind of inconspicuous time. Maybe a time where it's more busy in the morning,
Sure.
where people might be arriving, yeah, or moving around. Yeah, and they're just thinking of plans for the day.
Makes sense.
Need to go check the mail, see if Warfredo's made an appointment yet.
He has
not-
not.
Oh, I know that. I haven't checked it yet, but I'll check on the way out.
You go check on your way out, and he has not.
Oh, Willow's starting to get impatient. How many days has it been now since he has delayed it?
Well,
Like 3? 3 at
3?
this point.
yeah.
Yeah, because
Yeah, what?
he delayed it on the memorial.
Which was the
And
27th.
And it's now the second.
yes, then it was the
Mhm.
28th the first, and now it's the second.
Mm.
How rude is he?
Willow's starting to get a little impatient prickle about that, but it's fine. What is that us setting off on separate ways now?
I reckon so.
Yeah. Do I have
Yeah.
anything to do today aside from wait for my shift?
I don't think so.
No.
Go do some training in the courtyard. Brush up on your skills. It's been a while. I mean, I guess you did spar with Geraldine, but it never hurts.
That's
If you
true.
wanted to do careful rounds, you could check like the hospital, the silver dancer. Like if Luca wanted to do any kind of sanctuary stuff to see how things are going. See that the silver dancer
That's
hasn't
true.
been burnt down overnight.
Yeah, go and scare off the reporters.
Scaring off pigeons. Run into them. Run into a crowd of them and watch them scatter.
Throw chips at them.
The silver dancer appears to be out further into the bay.
Oh,
you go and look.
clever. Clever lady. Yeah.
Closer to the thing. So.
Okay. Okay.
Anything in the scuttlebutt?
Oh yeah, sorry. I
Yeah.
just remembered. I need to check
Yes.
that. That's one of the first things I would check. Where do I get the scuttlebutt? I don't feel like the gold dragon supports that.
Not necessarily. You can just
It's a
get it
news
at
agent.
whatever newsstand. It's not that hard to find for a copper.
Yeah, I'll find it on the way to Jaylee's.
Mm-hmm.
What's good in the paper?
The news on the scuttlebutt this morning is plot to poison poet
Oh.
There it is.
and a continued bunch of nonsense. You can see that they've taken what you gave them and blown it wildly out of proportion to the point where it's like barely the same thing. It's like comparing a dinosaur chicken nugget to an actual dinosaur fossil
Yeah.
is about the level of abstraction that has gone into that.
Well, there's an artist's role to create abstractions of the truth, right? Right, Wolfie? Right? Willow just rolls her eyes at the scuttlebutt, but they'll pocket it anyway. Oh, sorry, they'll buy it. I
Steal
guess.
one.
Yeah.
It doesn't deserve.
Well, I could steal it. Like, what? Where am I? Nah, it's more the newsagent. It's not for the scuttlebutt. It's not going back to them. So, I'll give them a coin. How much is it? Probably
A copper.
a copper. Anything else in the other papers?
I think not yet.
Okay.
The other papers are a little more restrained, and the Panoply only publishes like once a week anyway.
Yeah.
So
Okay. I'm gonna make my way to Jaylee's.
Yep.
As Gil, I think.
Yeah. All right.
Should I? Or should I go with Willow?
Your choice.
It's mainly because I started my day out as Gil. Where do I go to change inconspicuously?
An alley.
Okay.
That's my choice.
Yeah.
My changing room of choice.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I think when Willow gets a little closer to the place, but not like so close, or it's like I'm changing
Yeah.
outside. It's just
Yeah.
enough to like get lost in the city bustle. If anyone was following
Yeah.
them from home,
Yep.
lost in the city bustle, emerges as a blue outfit Willow again.
Makes sense.
Yep. Bit tense, but hey, it's summer, so why not? Yeah, I'm gonna wander past the studio.
Okay. Make a perception check.
It's so cash.
You can see that it's not like super visible from the outside. There's obviously like the little display window of the pottery pieces on sale at the moment. There's a few other people in there along with like some people doing window shopping and such. What are you looking for in general with regards to the layout of the studio?
Probably like an open window or something that seems like Fish Dog would be able to perceive anything inside. Doesn't have to, and where Fish Dog won't be visible. So like tucked around a corner, tucked under a ledge in a hedge, like not going to be found. Can sit there until 7 p.m. this evening.
Okay. Make a stealth check, I think.
With Fish Dog or with me?
With you. You are positioning Fish Dog.
Can I have advantage because of my...
Yes, your armor provides you that.
Holy shit!
On a 5, you like try and get close enough to maybe find a ledge or something, and instead you like make direct eye contact with somebody who's literally smoking out of the window, and it flusters you.
Oh yeah, I imagine it like tripping on a hedge.
Yeah, and you're like, found my ball, and you leave.
Holds up,
Found you.
holds up Fish Dog, but backwards, so it just looks like a shiny golden ball.
Yeah.
I don't even think. I think Willow would just like literally have Fish Dog in their other hand, and then hold up an empty hand, like a clenched fist over nothing. Found it, and then leave.
Sure.
Oh God, can I come back later and try again?
You can try again later. Closer to
I
the
finally
time.
show my face as Willow and just to...
Make direct eye
Well, no.
contact.
Okay, I did perceive the place, so maybe I could float Fish Dog over later.
Yes.
Did I find anywhere useful?
On a 16 perception check, you think that there's probably a good place like near around the back of the studio where you could potentially have Fish Dog listen in. But Fish Dog will not have advantage on its stealth check to get in.
So I can come back and try and give it my stealth, or I can try and rely on its own stealth, which is
Yes.
like not great. Okay.
Those are your two options.
You have all day.
I do have all day. Lucky I came out early. Willow's gonna go to a bakery. Hi, I failed. Bread time.
Yep. That's about it.
Okay.
And you spot Warfred briefly leave his apartment, and then go back without much fanfare.
All right, so like, what are we talking? Half an hour?
An hour, half an hour-ish.
All
It
right.
seems like a morning errands run kind of thing.
Fair. Nothing. He's not carrying anything. Nothing.
I think he would be carrying like a bag of like miscellaneous stuff. It looks like groceries or whatever.
Ah, so he eats.
Or he wants you to think that he eats.
He's
because he has
pretending to
4
eat.
stomachs.
Or he's going to
in
make
his
a
right
poison
ankle.
meal for Willow.
Oh, he's gonna cook for me? Whoa.
He's gonna cook you. Anyway. Stick an apple in you up and shove you in the oven. Anyway,
Anyway,
cool.
it's good to know. I don't think there is, unless there's something that somebody wants to do in particular. I think we can skip ahead to the evening with
Can
our.
I try once more to land
Yeah.
like to place fish dog?
Okay.
A few hours later, dusting my
Yeah.
hands, coming back like I can do this.
Yep.
I'm gonna I'm gonna do it myself again. If I fail this, then definitely I'm floating fish dog over on my on its own.
Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah.
Yep. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Cooler.
Several hours later.
Okay, that's a little better.
Yeah. Decent.
Okay.
Okay. You have securely tucked fish dog into a nearby topiary.
Okay. Again. Good one. It's like a Christmas ornament.
In summer.
Covered it with a couple leaves. So it
It's
is.
summer in Australia.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Whew. He's hidden. Good boy.
And you have it programmed to what? Come find you when it hears hot potato?
Yes.
Yep.
Good to know. Is it if anybody says hot potato or if N says hot potato specifically? I want to know
I would say N.
Okay.
Because, like, why would anyone else say hot potato? Well, okay. N, Kai, Audrey. It'd be the N cinematic universe if they say.
I think fish dog
potato.
doesn't distinguish between those.
Yeah, no. Obviously, because freaking keeps following Fail around like it's N. So, yeah, if N nebulously asterisk says hot potato.
Yeah.
Because, like, what if someone else is having roast for dinner? The fish dog comes back.
I'm having
No,
no,
you
toast
idiot.
for dinner.
What are you having for dinner? Oh, you know, hot potatoes.
He's like, uh-oh, uh-oh.
Just worthwhile
Yeah,
Yeah.
specifying
yeah.
the exact conditions.
Yeah, and it is to come back and find me subtly.
Yeah.
Can fish dog do perception checks, like nebulous perception checks too? Because I know it
Yeah.
can do, but like, will that just jeopardize its stealth, or can it just kind of ping every now and then and do perceptions?
It has eyes. It has
Yeah,
the
that's
effect
crazy.
of eyes.
Yeah. Okay, well then I'll put it in a place where it can also try and perceive.
Okay.
So like,
I
through
imagine it's like
leaves.
a tree outside that
Yeah.
has like a view of the window.
Yeah. Cool. All right, cool. Well, it's in an optimal position for looking and hearing. Mainly
Mhm.
hearing, but looking is a bonus.
Yep.
Cool. Thank you.
All right then. Day rolls around. And then Luca both do another shift around, and Brina will take point for the rest of the day until you are done with your appointment.
Shouldn't take longer than 4 hours, probably less, so it'll be fine.
Yeah. Okay. Evening. At the studio where Jaylee works.
And we'll
And you
arrive.
arrive as Castor.
Yep.
Jaylee is there, sort of twisting the end of her braid
Yeah,
in her hands.
is everyone else starting to clear out? Like, I imagine.
Yeah,
we're coming up
basically.
to
Yeah.
closing, so
Yeah, it's not that busy.
yeah, so I'll come and find her and hey,
Hi, hey. The appointment's not for another 45 minutes, I think.
oh, perfect. Then we can shake out any nerves and talk over the details. How you feeling?
Yeah. I'm okay. I'm okay. Just, a little bit nervous.
Anything in particular?
Oh, just I'm not great with business meetings.
That's why I'm here, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
Right.
so... Oh, seems like a redundant question, but how do you want to handle the talking? Follow my lead, or...
I don't know. I I guess we're just going to agree to sell the piece for the same amount that it was bought by the auction.
Yeah, we could do that. I was considering we could use this a bit like a networking opportunity, considering how the whole gallery thing went down and, you lost potential connections through that. And, well, Sir Beckett isn't a bad connection to make.
Jaylee kind of gives you a little bit of a confused look. I thought we were supposed to avoid that guy if we could.
I'm being sarcastic.
Oh. Oh.
I-
Sorry.
What I'm saying is, remember how I talked about we want to see what he's angling for with you, right?
Oh, right.
Yeah, so I was thinking we could focus a bit more on just chatting him up a bit,
Oh, okay.
if you're comfortable with that.
I think I'll let you take the lead on that.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, so... And if you just want to close the sale and be done with it this evening, I won't stop you. But... that's probably not the angle I would go for immediately,
Uh-huh.
just because we're not sure about anything yet. But you're the artist, so you get to decide where this thing goes. And really, that's the point at the end of all of this, is you're the artist. And if you're not comfortable with this sale, then there's absolutely no reason you shouldn't tell him that you need time to think.
Right.
And I'll back you up, whatever you decide.
Thanks.
Yeah, no problem. And you remember our little... En's gonna tuck their hair behind their ear.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you need to say anything in private that you don't want to say out loud, just... And clicks their tongue and does the gesture, but without tucking their hair.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
She practices the gesture herself.
Oh.
And that good?
Yeah, perfect. Got it down.
Okay. Can I get you something to drink? Tea, water, anything?
Yeah, sure. Make yourselves comfortable.
Yeah. In which case, Jaylee busies herself with getting tea for the both of you, and you await
Yeah.
the time of the appointment.
I crack a window. God, I'm looking at my coin.
Mm-hmm. Where are Luca and Willow positioned?
I don't know.
Yeah, N doesn't know. Unlike
Ed doesn't
previous-
know, but I'm asking them.
Yeah.
Hmm. Is there an
Um,
inconspicuous cafe nearby?
Oh, what I meant to say is like, I imagine we didn't even do like farewells. Today was very like nonchalant about
Yeah.
like you go your way, we will go our way, meet you in the middle somewhere. So Willow's just gonna
Yeah.
like meet Luca somewhere maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Be like a happenstance. You'd be there for a while. Willow will show up later.
Hmm.
Yeah.
It
There's a
could just
cafe.
be, like, yeah,
There's a
an old man.
cafe near-ish. It's like slightly down the road.
yeah. Even if there's just like a bench. But yeah, no, the
Yeah.
cafe will be fine.
Yeah.
Fetch something. Did I receive any mail? I would have gone back to check.
Nope.
Okay. So yep, just chilling. Kind of look at Luca like, oh, you, and I'm Gil, by the way.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Give that wave of like, fancy meeting you here, and then like join him.
I think, Luca, actually, you are here before your shift at the stakeout.
Mhm.
I think things have lined up in such a way that you got to be around N now, and N will take the midnight shift and so on.
Yeah.
So you will, in an hour or two, probably head over to the apartment. The meeting really shouldn't take that long, so
Yeah.
it's all good.
Yeah.
I haven't figured out the exact pattern, but it doesn't matter. It's not important.
Yeah. As long as you get a break in between.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't have to have consistent hours.
Just as long as no one's doubling up.
As long as Luca's ordered food, I will just sit there and read Scuttlebutt. You can read the actual newspapers.
Are you sitting with me or in a different state?
I think I'm sitting with you so that I can sit at the cafe without eating.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah. I get kind of annoyed if you sit in one of their chairs and you don't order anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Just chilling.
Yeah. Being chilling.
Okay. In that case, we cut back to the studio interior as the bell rings and Alonso Reedfoot arrives. All prim, proper, with a little briefcase.
All right, so where have we situated ourselves, you think? We're like, are we in the back room? Are we in the front? Is the statue here? What's our, like,
I
arrangement?
think you guys are in the front of house of the studio, waiting for the arrival. And the statue is in the back room.
All right. Does Jaylee greet him, or should I be greeting him?
I think she stands up and greets him.
All right, I'm going to follow her lead then and trail on behind her.
Good evening, Mr. Reedfoot. This is my friend Castor. They're acting as agent on behalf of me. Alonso Reedfoot gives a sort of polite inclination of the head.
It's a pleasure to meet you, Mr. Reedfoot. And En's going to extend their hand to him.
Oh, cool. There is a moment of hesitation, and then he extends his hand.
All right, I'll give it a shake. I don't know if I get anything on a 10, but
You wonder if he recognizes you.
oh, I'm sure he does. Well, I know you're a very busy man, but I was hoping we could just have a moment of your time to discuss things.
Certainly. What would you like to discuss?
Well, you were there at the auction when everything went down. Far be it for me to downplay the tragedy that occurred, but, well, it was also a shame that it left so many artists high and dry, especially Miss Hazelwood, and her debut piece. I just thought this would be a great opportunity for us to get to know each other a little more, in lieu of the lost opportunity to network at the auction itself.
Yes, it is quite distressing what happened.
Indeed.
I am afraid that I cannot speak on behalf of my employer beyond his interest in purchasing the piece.
Of course. Yeah, I understand your Sir Beckett is quite a name in art circles, with a discerning eye to match. So his interest in Miss Hazelwood is it's kind of a compliment in and of itself.
Indeed.
But he's, of quite a busy man, so I can see why he might not be available to close the deal himself.
No, I am afraid that he was only supposed to be in Regalport for a short amount of time, and the entire kerfuffle sort of impeded on things. He is regretful that he cannot make the purchase himself, but I assure you that the piece will be well appreciated.
And nods, and's gonna glance at Jaylee just to see how she's doing.
She's fine. Just a little stiff.
Cool. Yes, Sir Beckett must trust you very much. How long have you been working for him?
Well over a decade at this point.
Wow. Maybe that'll be me someday.
Yes.
And's gonna look at Jaylee, make a little joke.
Jaylee, like,
You said the piece would be well taken care of. Where, if you know, of course, where would it be displayed?
it would most likely go to Sir Beckett's private collection. He is quite well known for it and does host many a soiree at his apartments in Sharn.
Ah, so a chance it might get a few eyes on it, huh?
More than just a chance.
Can you give me an example of some of the people that tend to be invited to these soirees?
Alonso adjusts his glasses. Sir Beckett is well acquainted with many of the art aficionados and artists of Sharn itself. I am sure I do not need to extol the virtues of its many theatre districts.
Certainly not. I'm curious, would your master happen to have told you what he saw in my client's piece?
I believe Sir Beckett finds it moving in the sense that it reminds him of his service during the war.
Ah,
He did gain his knighthood then.
sir, yes. I understand Sir Hazelwit was also a revered Brailish knight.
I am afraid that the name is not familiar to myself, but as I understand, he gestures to Jaylee, your father was quite decorated and died in the line of service. She nods. Yes, he was very supportive of my studies in art. So,
Well, where was Sir Beckett stationed? Maybe they crossed paths somewhere.
I believe that Sir Beckett dealt more with the interior affairs around Rote and towards the northern and eastern borders.
I see,
I
I see.
believe Miss Hazelwood mentioned that her father was stationed along the Grey Wool Mountains. She says, yes, that is correct.
Yeah, and
Nothing.
is gonna glance at Jaylee a little bit, like, so they did discuss that. This isn't something
Yes.
that Alonso seems to know without
No.
having been told this directly.
No. By the way, what was that insight check for?
When he was talking about Edmund and what he appreciates about Jaylee's piece, I was just trying to get a vibe check on him.
The vibe is measured, but let me actually do a little checky of my own. Alonso seems to be keeping his focus on you specifically
Good. You do
as
that.
you are talking. And at this point, he is sure he has recognized you,
Yeah.
but is doing his best to keep calm on the surface.
Hmm. No. Is something on my face?
You just have a particular look about you. I am not sure if we have met before.
Hmm.
Do you frequently provide service as an agent to upcoming artists?
Oh, I wear all kinds of hats.
Interesting.
Tell me more. Where do you think you've seen me? Maybe if you mention a few things, it'll shake something loose.
Perhaps another time. This is a business visit, and I do not want to waste Miss Hazelwit's time with needless frittering.
Of
I
course.
believe my master proposed that we buy the piece at its original offered price of 210 gold pieces.
And nods. I had a question. Give Rom a minute. I had a question.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
was it? Right, okay. Does Sir Beckett have interest in any further work with Miss Hazelwood?
I cannot say so at the current time, but if that were the case, we would be in contact by post.
And nods. Let's see.
I'm sure as her agent, Miss Hazelwit, will let you know if there are any upcoming interested parties.
Oh yeah, I sure hope so. And then's gonna give Jaylee just a little nudge with their elbow, friendly, to direct their attention at her and offer a smile.
Jaylee nods and says, "Yes, I'm not opposed to working for commission. If that is wanted." Alonso says, "Duly noted. The sale of the piece, however."
Yeah. Well, I'm sure you are quite aware it's an incredibly personal work, and after everything happened at the auction hall, we just want to ensure we're making a good decision with it. So,
Of course.
would you mind giving us 24 hours to just consult each other over this whole situation, and I'll let you know.
And give me a deception check, please.
Ooh.
Good. Very well, then.
Oh. If we did get another offer that was a bit higher, would you match it?
Most certainly.
And clicks their tongue and gives a little finger gun. Duly noted. Anything I should ask him before I let little bitch out the door?
Group huddle. I
Meta
was just
huddle?
considering.
The players huddle to the side in meta.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right,
Ask
hey,
him something like out of pocket, like, how's he doing?
how you feel? No jokes. Mine was like, see how he responds to being like, no, but your response is more measured. Like,
I don't want to
makes
cut
sense,
off
so-
this contact yet.
No, yeah, no,
Yeah.
that makes sense. It was more like, no, just kidding. We'll see tomorrow. Bye. But no, you're not playing with that kind of fire at the moment. Yeah, no, that's what you did. Good. So
Yeah, I think we're good here.
anything else? No, I'm just trying to think. It's good, it's good, it's good, it's good, it's good. How many eyeballs do you have? Like for real though.
You can't just ask someone how many eyeballs they have.
Could ask them if he knew Tarek or anything like that. Sus though. It's all sus and Jaylee's here.
Yeah.
You could say like, "Oh, I saw you at the memorial. Maybe that's where you saw me."
Yeah,
Were you Audrey at the
that's
memorial?
Possible.
No,
No,
I
that
was
was
Anne at
Costa.
the
No, you were
memorial.
You were
Anne.
with
Yeah.
Jaylee.
Yeah.
You could if you
Yeah.
wanted, but check that to see if it is in line with your vibes. Because like that brings Tarek back into it, but then I don't know. Big question marks.
Yeah. And I'm also like considering, is there any other ways I can prod to check about connections with Jaylee?
Connection, like Sir Hazelwitz and such.
Yeah, just like connection, intention are the two things En's like feeling for.
Can I know what you're thinking about with regards to Sir Hazelwit?
Well, En was thinking, what if Edmund has met Sir Hazelwit and would then use that connection as leverage to influence Jaylee? Like, oh, I knew your father. Isn't that like a compelling pull to get someone into your orbit? So En was checking that.
All with the catastrophe ending that Jaylee ends up like in the Snapdragon cult kind of thing.
In one way or another.
Yeah. Well, he certainly isn't leaning on it now. Like he certainly hasn't. That's a card you can drop right out the gate. Oh, I knew your father.
Exactly. So
like so, maybe there's nothing more to ask because it hasn't revealed much yet.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. But you know what? I like the suggestion that was made earlier. So as we were kind of like packing it in,
Good luck.
En's gonna say, "Oh, was it at the memorial?"
Perhaps.
Guess there were a lot of people around.
Indeed. You wouldn't have happened to spend any time around Sharn, would you?
Not in a long time.
Curious.
Aye? Someone impersonating me over there?
Perhaps not. But then again, there are many changelings in Sharn.
There certainly are.
Good evening, then. I await your reply.
Have a good evening, Mr. Reedfoot.
We've been made. We need to leave Regalport immediately.
En's gonna close the door as he leaves.
Jaylee looks at you a little bit nervous. I kind of can't tell if that went well or not.
En's not laughing, Rom's laughing. Yeah, I imagine En like closed the door and locked it and like folds their arms and kind of watches Alonso go through, I imagine, like a window in the door. And then when Jaylee speaks, they like bounce their brows and turn to face her with their arms crossed. Oh, he's definitely a curious fellow. We did buy some time. And
Do you
shakes their leg
think
like,
I should have asked for more money?
well, we can do that. I'd happen to have someone else in my court who did bid on your piece, so if we wanted to squeeze a little more money out of him for all of our trouble, well, I'm certainly not going to complain.
Right. Are you okay?
Me? No, I don't like dealing with that guy, but goes with the job. Sometimes us agents just have to deal with unpleasant people, right? And that's gonna nudge her with their elbow.
Right,
How about you? You good?
yeah, just... I don't know.
You can talk to me. What's wrong?
It's nothing really wrong. I just feel like I've missed something.
Where?
I hmm, I don't know. It's stupid. It doesn't really matter. So what now?
I'm gonna check my coin. Actually, I'm gonna pull my coin out of my pocket and check it.
No effect.
Okay, I'll roll it back into my fist and pocket it. Alright, well, I think a sharp girl like you can probably tell that there is kind of more going on here than I've told you.
Yeah.
But I hope you can trust that I'm telling you what you need to know, and I'm not trying to hide things from you.
No, I don't think you mean any harm to me. It's fine. I mean, you warned me that these were shady people, so
And nods.
I just I'm not really sure what to do about it. I'm
Well, that's also what I'm here for.
yeah.
I'll figure something out, but you're welcome to offer ideas if you have a eureka moment of your own.
I'm afraid my ideas at the moment are just letting them buy the piece and letting them leave.
Yeah, that would be ideal. See, my concern lies in... You've heard the saying, give them an inch, they'll take a mile?
Hmm.
And
I
I could
guess if
be...
somebody else bought the piece, then that would solve the problem.
Yeah, that would be the hope. I'll give it some thought. We have a little bit of time.
Right.
And sorry if bringing up your father there was uncomfortable.
No, it's okay. I
And
just
nods.
didn't know what to say.
Yeah, I've heard I'm a talker, so just leave it to me.
Right.
Seriously.
Well,
I want the best for you and for this piece, whatever that looks like to you. So that's what I'm working
yeah.
towards.
Thanks.
And if you just want this piece out of your life at this point, we'll make that happen one way or the other.
Well, I don't just want to throw it away.
No, well, I'd never suggest that. But just in case it's starting to carry a bit too much weight, I'll just do a little sleight of hand, swap it out for a pile of gold in one way or another. You buy yourself something nice.
Jaylee sort of laughs and, like, unintentionally tucks her hair behind her ear.
And smiles back. Hey, you want me to walk you home?
Yeah, sure.
Alright, let's get out of here.
Let's.
Anne's gonna give her shoulder a little pat. Close the window they probably opened slightly.
Mm-hmm.
And head on out. Probably with a perception check, because...
Yep. Go ahead.
Can I also have made Fish Dog do a perception check when Alonso
Yep.
left?
Yep.
Probably when he came and left, but
Mhm.
I'll just do one. If there's anything sus about him to catch from a Fish Dog perspective.
I think he headed off in a different direction to the one that he arrived from, so he's not doubling back on his steps. But that doesn't super mean anything.
Yeah. And Dan's perception check.
Anyone around while I'm walking Jaylee back?
Nope.
I think there's just shots of N giving
Yeah.
the dark eyes to people who pass and anyone and any
Yeah.
shadows nearby when Jaylee's not
Yeah.
looking. Just walking side
Yeah.
by side with her. Just guard dog kind of mode.
Yeah. I think what happens as you say goodnight to Jaylee after dropping her off at her apartment.
Makes a note of her
Yes.
apartment number.
Okay, you. I think Jaylee sort of gives your hand a little squeeze as she sort of pulls away from you to walk up the steps and gives you a wave and says, "Thanks for looking out for me."
My pleasure, Miss Hazelwood. You have a good night. And gonna do a little bow
Bye.
with that and then a wave. We'll
Yeah.
salute everything they can think of because they, yeah, fuck that. Bye.
Are you for real? Did you just salute, wave, peace
Wow.
sign, shake symbol your way out of the situation?
I
for real?
imagine N like did a little like bow like they were a butler, like a butlerly bow.
Yeah.
Right,
Kind of
yeah.
mocking the butler they just interacted with, and then when they
That's-
straightened
yeah.
up, they did a little salute, and as they're backing up, and then like that salute became a wave, and then they're gonna exit the
Okay.
exit the city.
Oh,
Man.
wow. We can't leave you alone. You start doing Willow-ish things. But
Listen, I was good for the majority of that, which I think is pretty impressive, all things considered.
oh,
Yeah, it's
I
allowed to
got-
be a little weird on the way out.
Yeah, no.
That's a treat.
I have a headache from how hard I had to repress the internal scream that happened during that conversation. If you heard the sound of the slap, that was my hand on my face.
Yeah,
Sitting there just.
yeah.
Anyway.
Well,
Oh.
and actually pleased about that. So in
Oh,
a
yeah, it's productive,
terribly
but
twisted
what
way.
the hell?
Okay.
Okay.
Cool. Willow, you receive report back from Fishdog. Nothing ill happened.
Okay. I think
It's
after
time
a
for-
time, like, yeah, I went to
Yeah,
stand
it's-
somewhere else
Yeah.
so that Fisher could float to me.
Yep.
Good.
And
good, 'cause
it
I was
is
getting
time
nervous.
for Luca to break away and head to his shift.
How much did lunch cost me? Oh, brunch
Dinner is
I
after
know.
closing, so it's dinner time.
Ah.
How many times we have to teach you this lesson?
However many times it takes. I'm not giving
Yeah.
up on you, Luca Carson.
Hold on, I'm trying to. I really need a cheat sheet of expenses.
So
I
at
will
this
make an
point,
Excel spreadsheet.
yeah,
Please let me make you a spreadsheet. I would love
yeah,
spreadsheets.
just give that task
Okay
aside.
then. Okay then. Let's hear. So
God.
meals for a day. 3 silver,
Nice.
6 if you're buying for Willow as well.
I wasn't eating, so.
Willow doesn't eat. They're a warforged.
Right.
Obviously.
Right. Anyway,
Did you say silver or copper?
silver.
Right. Fix that. A big spender.
So,
My turn.
yes. Luca's turn to keep sentry. Please make a stealth check and a perception check.
Oh lord, my pen's dying. Stealth. Stealth of 2.
No.
Perception 1.
Oh
You have too
dear.
big of a snack. What have you done?
I fucked up is what I did.
Yeah.
Oh, hell on earth.
How do you
I think
not
you
want a
stand-
perception?
I think
In the
you
middle
get...
of the courtyard.
Yeah. I think you get distracted. I think...
Oh, no.
Oh, you know what it is? I think there is an alley cat that you find that you become absorbed in petting.
No.
Luca.
Stupid. His Disney princess is ruining this.
Yeah, I think you know what you find is...
Especially if
you
it's got
find-
kittens.
Yeah,
Oh,
you know what? You
no.
do find kittens.
Oh, and these kittens need a home. You can't just abandon them in the box in the alleyway.
They need to be fed. They
This
need
goes
a mom.
against your oath.
You
pretty
find
much.
a friendly mama cat and like you end up giving her like some little jerky treats, and then you end up finding the meows of her kittens nearby.
Oh,
And
no.
you're like,
yeah.
oh no.
Yeah.
And you start looking for like blanket and cardboard box and where is the nearest vet in Regalport? You don't know.
Oh, damn it. Where's Willow when I need them?
All that to say is you are very surprised when Captain Frostroot seems to appear over your shoulder and says,
Well, I have a box of
then.
kittens.
well then,
Fucking love it.
what do we have here?
Oh, Captain.
No.
Kittens.
Oh, shit.
I was just out for an evening stroll.
Is that wise, given the papers?
Even your ship was not intact.
I'm
That Luca
feeling
saw.
restless.
Luca should be pinging something.
The ship can come back?
The ship
Luca,
is mobile. That is what ships do. Okay.
Yeah.
Luca, you know Terex. You were there for the rich.
Rum. It's okay. He's an idiot. He just rolled a fucking 1.
Yeah, he's gonna die. So, bye, Luca.
Dead. Anyway, no, it's okay. It's Meridine.
If you just give me a moment to put these in a nice safe place, we could.
Why don't we ask if one of the bars around here needs a cat to keep the rats out of the cellar? Come with
Luca
me for a
perks
drink.
up.
I'm sure they have milk or cream or something.
Luca nods. And yeah, good idea.
You follow Captain Frostroot to a nearby bar. She seamlessly seems to persuade the people to look after the box of kittens and Mama Cat
Oh, good.
for at least a night. I'm sure there's always a need for ship's cats around here, so it's not that difficult. And she buys you and herself a drink. I'm very glad I found you, by the way. I was feeling a bit stressed, and having your presence, I just feel a little bit safer knowing there's somebody looking out for me.
I'm glad to hear that. And of course, happy to do so.
She passes you the drink and gives you a cheers.
Yeah, cheers.
I'm dying. You have detects
Luca, what
poison
is your
and
favorite?
disease.
What is your
Oh, fuck.
friend? What is your favorite drink?
Fuck you.
Like like
Fuck.
alcoholic or
Shit.
non-alcoholic?
In general.
Probably something a little bit sweet, but
Fuck
I say
you.
something that's served warm.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Like,
I don't know
what is
drinks
going on.
very much.
I think what you end up getting is like a slightly sweet, spicy mulled wine kind of tasting thing.
Yeah.
It's warm, it's heartening. It feels like putting your hands up to a fire on a cold winter's night, and it feels like home in a way that you haven't really. It like gives you this sort of sense, taste, memory of being cozy and warm.
What? This is really nice.
I'm glad to hear. You drink with Captain Frostroot for a bit, chit-chatting, when she asks you, I have to ask your opinion on something, and please be honest with me. What do you think of my attempt to resurrect him?
Well, it's not really my place to say, I don't think.
But you were there at the Speak with Dead ritual. You heard what he said.
I did. And can I do a sneaky little insight check? What is she, like? Does she want her? She want her decision like affirmed to
Validated.
her? Yeah.
Make an insight check with disadvantage.
Oh.
You're drugged, buddy.
Did I give you
Yeah.
the poison tabs for nothing, you dumb... Sorry, I'm so sorry. Anyway, carry on. Oh, cool! 4. That's nice.
Yep. A
That's
4.
not even average for a 20. That's... yeah, okay. Whew.
I think the best thing you can do is the thing that you can live with.
Hmm.
And that will be different for everyone. If it fails, then will you be able to live comfortably knowing that you tried? Some people can't. If you don't do it, can you live comfortably with knowing you didn't try? That's worse for some.
It's much to think about. You wouldn't happen to have a copy of what he said? I remember you taking notes.
Yes, I do. And yeah, I do. Would you like a copy?
Please.
I'll have to organize one. Not on me, sorry. Obviously.
Well, that's a little bit disappointing, but I'm sure you're doing your best with the investigation.
Mhm. I
What
don't
were
think
you
I'm-
doing in that neighborhood, by the way?
I don't think I'm supposed to talk about it.
Ah, of course. She puts a finger to her lips.
Yeah.
Well then, I'd better not distract you from your duties. But will you walk me down to the docks?
Of course.